welcome to BOMISpirit. So I'm excited. I'm going to be talking about Mercury retrograde today, and I'm so happy that it aligned for me to like have the bandwidth to talk about it because it's been a while since I've been able to like do a video like this. And just a couple things before we go ahead and dive in and get started. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, and hype. Doing that really does help the videos to circulate and get to people who could benefit from watching these videos or who would just enjoy them purely. So I appreciate it, and those people appreciate it too. Also, what was I gonna say? There's a Patreon, there's a website, everything you'd be curious about is linked below in terms of all that. And also a little disclaimer about astrology before we continue. I love astrology. A lot of you guys love astrology. I just like to give a little reminder here and there that astrology can be a really fun discipline that can support us in gaining some higher understanding or unique perspectives into how to navigate certain circumstances or energies or emotions even, or periods of life. It's certainly not a discipline that I recommend like living your everyday decisions by. Like, I won't do this because it's retrograde kind of stuff. Sometimes we just kind of have to just like live life, even through like really strange, bizarre transits. And yeah, and it doesn't mean that like you can't have the experiences you're looking for. You know what I mean? So yeah, just a little disclaimer there before we dive in. And that being said, right before I went to record this, my heart, my heart just started to race like so intensely to the point where I actually had to like take a minute, and I was like, okay, what is this? What's moving through me right now? There may be a lot of very high running passions throughout the month of November. This retrograde phase encompasses most of November, you know, especially if you're including the pre and post shadow. All of November is definitely included in that. Yeah, as I'm like trying to talk about it again, the energy's like, whoa, the energy's like trying to rise like really intensely. So if passions run high for you during this retrograde phase, it's a beautiful thing. It's a really beautiful thing. Some people it actually might be the opposite, and we'll talk about that. We'll get into that. Just find your grounding in it, find your footing in it. Don't suppress it because it's like it's a beautiful energy. Let it move. It's making me dizzy. Whew, yeah, just find your footing in it, find your grounding in it, find your pacing in it, breathe through it if you need to. Some of you, this may even be like a little bit of that fiery, scorpionic, like Phoenix resurrection kind of energy. I don't know why I paused there. I had a little brain fart for a second. Some of you may even be that, just like feeling very engulfed by your own passion and by your own like fire. Feels good though. It's just kind of a lot. Anyway, so just wanted to let you know that's something that I was feeling as I was getting into talking about these energies, okay? That being said, let's go ahead and get started. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay. Look. All right. So first of all, let's talk about, well, yeah, okay, we'll put dates off for a little bit. I was ready to just regurgitate information to you, and I'm like, no, let's slow down. That seems to be a big theme here already with Mercury retrograde. To pace yourself through the passion, pace yourself through the intensity, pace yourself through all of the emotions or even truth or awareness, or again, passion and fire that may be moving through your body in the next few weeks, okay? Mercury retrograde is starting right on the heels of the new full moon Taurus, of the full moon Taurus, which also came right after Samhain. And I had mentioned this before, but October 30th, I started to feel this like opening starting to happen, and I was like, oh, okay, it was probably just Samhain, which I do think it was. But I think the full moon Taurus also being a supermoon kind of added to that window. And so from October 30th to about, well, actually, I would say today, I'm recording this on the 7th of November. I would even say bleeding into the 8th. Yeah, October 30th through Samhain, through the days preceding the full moon Taurus, the days coming after the full moon Taurus, concluding, thank you, Spirit, concluding around on the 8th of November was its own massive window. Okay? Definitely its own massive window. The veil was non-existent, very crunchy. A lot of people were getting blasted by solar flares. A lot of people were having a lot of upper chakra stuff, especially in terms of like headaches, congestion, respiratory, heart palpitations, that kind of thing. Some people were experiencing some solar plexus stuff, which I feel like has actually been more recent, like in the back end of the full moon Taurus, which I think is also going to follow us in to Mercury retrograde. If you resonated with the message I put out with the strength card, where it's like literally just an image of like me and a card and well, just the card, and I'm just giving some information there. In terms of how to manage noise, the shadow, insecurities, those kinds of things. I do feel like that energy does tie directly into the solar plexus, but also actually ties into this Mercury retrograde, and we will get into that. But yeah, if you've been going through the solar plexus stuff, a lot of digestion things, shifting in how you want to eat, what you want to eat, when you want to eat, even how your body is just dealing with food. That was coming through quite a bit. And I feel like people who were in that boat or have been experiencing that, I feel like you've kind of been going through a major like clearing of some like deeply rooted, maybe even cellular trauma in the nervous system. Yeah, and then especially as it pertains to like willpower and being able to take action on things that you want to take action towards. Also, belief is a huge theme in there too. Watch the video. I want to stay focused on this, but all of that was in there. Okay. So this is where we find ourselves. We're finding ourselves at the back end of this like massive prolonged window of like major sensitivity, non-existent veil, activations for a lot of people, a lot of ancestral energy for a lot of people, a lot of awareness coming through about what we want or how we want to rise into something, whether it's a version of self or a situation we just want to experience. And again, some of you may have been perceiving this more as a calling, okay? That's been happening. Now we go into Mercury retrograde, which the retrograde phase is going from November 9th to November 29th. There's a post shadow there that is going all the way up to December 16th. The bullet points, this is why I like to do overviews because I get really into it. Yeah, you all know. The bullet point takeaways that I would focus on for this Mercury retrograde, talking has been so hard lately. All of this Scorpionic and Sagittarian energy, when we go into retrograde with it, normally it becomes internalized. It becomes almost like placed deeper down or even like suppressed a little bit so that we slow down. So we slow down and we can kind of review and take stock of how we're thinking about certain things, how we're communicating about certain things. But with the Scorpionic component and all of this energy that we have leading up to this retrograde phase and also the Scorpionic season itself, I do feel like it's actually more of a, how do I want to say this? Where it's like the deeper parts of what we desire, what we want, what we feel, even our own intuition, what we sense. It's a very inner animal kind of an instinct aspect that I'm feeling with this Mercury retrograde is really up and out into the surface, which I think is going to be interesting because again, I think it's going to cause passions to run very high for some people. It's also going to shade on, excuse me, passions that have been severely repressed or suppressed, and then just bubbling that up to the surface. It just feels like primal, fiery, intense truth, just like all the way up to the surface. Almost like people's inner animals are going to be very front and center. It actually could be very fun. I'm just saying. And we have other aspects that are supporting that as well. With that, there's also going to be revealing of some deep truths and insights, definitely revealing of secrets. With Scorpio, Mercury and Scorpio, oh, there's no doubt. There's going to be a lot of things that have been held back intentionally or even unintentionally that erupt. I'm here, oh, that just came in really strong. That erupt to the surface, whether in your own inner knowing or through your mouth or through other people's mouths, essentially. Okay? So again, truth in terms of like factual truth, knowing, emotional truth, or even just like passions and desires and things of that nature. I think this period is going to, I think this period of time is going to help some people come to terms with their inner animal, come to terms with like being okay with desiring what they want to desire, right? And not being afraid to go for that, because part of the full moon Taurus has also been taking bold action from this higher minded place, taking really bold action and also getting anchored into your belief that you can have what you want, right? From this higher minded place of, you could say higher self. I'm not a fan of that term, to be honest with you. When I say higher minded place, I'm speaking more in terms of like seeing the bigger picture, right? seeing the bigger picture, but also there's an intuitive factor there, there's an intellectual factor there, and there's an instinctual factor there, and there they are three different things: body, mind, and spirit, right? Anyway, this is gonna be an interesting video. I can already feel there's so much channeling that wants to move through me right now. The other thing I want to mention about this Mercury retrograde phase is that in terms of the transformative quality of Scorpio, some people may experience a transformative phase of self-identity, passions and desires in your relationship to those things, and how you ask for those things. That's interesting. How you ask for those things, how you go for those things. Yeah, I'm getting like articulate, which would make sense with Mercury. Anything else I didn't cover yet? Ooh, something else that's really interesting, and we'll get into this in a little deeper and we'll get into the astrology. Just some of the dancing that Mercury is doing, especially between the new moon Scorpio on November 20th and the full moon Gemini on December 4th. Mercury in Scorpio, taking us to this deeper awareness of self, our primal self, right? Mostly our primal self, is actually going to offer some unique solutions and insights to some things here, especially in terms of like prolonged rooted blockages, okay? Insecurities and fears and what have you. This is also why I feel like it's coinciding with this message I put out around the strength card the other day. The noise, our inner animal, shadow, you know, it's all going to be a lot louder. It's going to be a lot more in our face. We're going to feel it in our bodies more. It's just going to be very, very front and center. And so, yeah, it's going to challenge some people to question their relationship to their own animal slash noise slash shadow slash passion, etc., including other people's as well. But in that same vein, it's like there may be a temptation to fight that. There may be a temptation to like, oh, thank you, Spirit. Yeah, this totally relates to that. To intellectualize the blockage versus just kind of like leaning into this, I'm getting the heart, leaning into the heart and compassion and patience and love and understanding and acceptance. Thank you. And acceptance of just who you are. Acceptance of who you are and your drives and your motives and that inner animal self, right? That is the strength card essentially. They're highlighting some of the astrology, and we'll get into that later in a bit. I try to keep this portion for people who just want the takeaways. Yeah, it's like, yeah, because you may become aware of like your own personal blockages or the limitations you place on yourself or fears or insecurities. Yeah. And instead of like going to war with that, instead of like trying to intellectualize the pain, lean back into the heart, lean back into compassion, lean back into patience, lean back into just observing that for what it is and finding acceptance of that, acceptance of self through that. And from there, thank you. And from there, you can, thank you. Yeah, okay. Sorry, they're talking a lot. And from there, you can intellectualize. Yeah, don't intellectualize the pain. Like, let this process play out by leaning back into the heart and acceptance of self. And through there, you can intellectualize the big picture. There it is. From there, you can intellectualize the big picture of things. So this Mercury retrograde has taken us there. Okay, it's taken us there. Anything else, Spirit? Obviously, with Mercury retrogrades, do people come back and hit you up? Yeah, that's part of it too. Be discerning about that. We still have a lot of sacred bond energy kind of floating around in the atmosphere, all the way up into the winter solstice, so 12/21. So yeah, just be discerning about that. I feel like this Mercury retrograde is actually gonna make everybody sharper in terms of their instincts and their intellect and their intuition. Again, body, mind, and soul there, right? Excuse me. Yeah, because if people come back, I feel like a lot of it's just like confirmation and closure. It's not necessarily to rekindle anything. I mean, sometimes that happens. You know your life, you know what's best for you. This whole period is just about gaining that deeper insight and understanding of self desires, why you want what you want, and knowing that you can have what you want, right? And if there's any part of you that's telling you you can't, this is the time to see that for what it is. Sit with it. Don't fight it because it's part of you. It's you. You don't need to fight yourself, right? Then you're just going to create some spiritual warfare for yourself. Feel it, see it, acknowledge it, recognize it. Make peace with it, love on it even if you need to. And allow that to show you some things about yourself, even if that transforms your sense of self or identity. Yeah, that's how I would epitomize this Mercury retrograde. Okay, now let's get into some details. I know it was already a lot of details, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I might even split this off and just do like a little like, here's the bullet point video, and then here's like the deep video. Oh, you know what? Maybe I will do that. Hold on a second. Let me make a note for myself. Okay, anyway, now let's get into the astrology here. So like I mentioned, Mercury goes retrograde in Sagittarius at 6 degrees on the 9th of November. Well, maybe I didn't mention that. I'm so in it right now. I just need to honor the flow. Anyway, Mercury, the whole retrograde range is Scorpio 20 degrees to Sagittarius 6 degrees. So obviously, take a look at your personal charts, take a look at your houses, your natal houses, wherever you have Scorpio 20 degrees to Sagittarius 6 degrees is where this Mercury retrograde is going to play out for you, where you are going to gain some deeper insight and understanding into what drives you, why you want what you want, etc. And that again may come with some transformation in terms of how you see yourself, transformation even of your relationship to desire and your own passion. And then the second aspect of this Mercury retrograde is that whole strength card dance, if you will, that any blockages you do have, or any ways you hold yourself back, or any ways that you question yourself, doubt yourself, or have insecurities, this is a time to acknowledge that and see that, sit with that, and move beyond that by being in that strength card energy of not forcing it, not taming it, by learning to cultivate a relationship with it, right? That will be coming up in your house wherever you have Scorpio 20 degrees to Sag 6 degrees, okay? Now, again, this starts on November 9th, and then we're going to mosey along. Jupiter's going to go retrograde. We're going to have a quarter moon in there in Leo. And then on the 18th of November, Mercury's going to go retrograde into Scorpio, okay? And then on the 20th, we have the new moon in Scorpio, which is really interesting. I can't wait to do the hangout for this new moon Scorpio. I do all the hangouts on Patreon, by the way. But this new moon Scorpio is actually going to be tightly conjunct Mercury while it's like freshly in the retrograde in Scorpio. I just kind of love that. It just feels so perfect. Lilith is going to be there too. We're going to have a grand water trine that involves all of this, along with Jupiter and Saturn, and a mystic rectangle. Don't get too hung up on the details here. But I do feel like this new moon Scorpio, with everything that we're speaking to with Mercury retrograde, it feels like that particular moon cycle is kicking something off with all of these themes that we're speaking about with this particular Mercury retrograde, especially with Lilith being right there. Yeah, it's like I just feel like the inner animal is like, hello. Like the inner animal is like almost baring its teeth. I think a lot of us have been feeling that already. Even in October, I think a lot of us were feeling that. Yeah, I'm just feeling into that. Yeah, 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 we have been. But this is the moment where I don't want to say confrontation because that's like not like the energy I want to put out there, but just where the animal is like very much front and center. We've already been feeling it. We've already been familiar with the noise that it makes, whether that's fear and insecurity or passion and desire and just like impulse, right? But this is marking that beginning phase of like, are you going to cultivate a relationship with this or not? Are you going to allow this inner animal to be an asset for you? Or are you going to keep fighting it? Are you going to keep working against it? Are you going to keep trying to silence it? Oh, interesting. So, again, a lot of mercurial verbiage here. Silence it or put it in the corner. Because some of you, this inner animal, is also the key to movement. Like I keep getting this like bold action that keeps coming through. Like you actually need this part of you to create the situations and circumstances you want to be experiencing, you want to be living, you want to be embodying, and not embracing it is keeping you from doing that. Yeah. Don't be afraid of what you want. It's okay to want what you want. Hold on, there's something coming in here. Um, this may resonate with some of you. This part of self, this part of you, or all of us, it's also the part that doesn't have manners. It's like there's almost like an impolite, primal but natural, like unrefined energy to this. But that's kind of needed sometimes. Like it's good to remember that. Word, oh, sorry, so much is starting to come in. Domestication. Domestication. Some of you in this Mercury retrograde phase are going to have a big wake-up call as to how domesticated you may have become. Take that for what you will. I think that's going to mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people, but that's the word that came through. It's like they're showing me like a wolf. It's like you can't domesticate a wolf. You can't. People try, and that's how they end up with all these wolf sanctuaries. Just learned about that recently. But that's like how it's coming up to be communicated. You can't domesticate a wolf. You can domesticate a dog, but not a wolf. I just heard origins. Origins, ancestry is been a huge part of the collective energy right now, but I think that will continue throughout November. So anyway, this new moon Scorpio, I feel like is part of that. It's like, it's really looking at that piece of you in the face in a way where it cannot be ignored, no matter what it's making you feel. Whether it's making you feel almost overrun with wild energy or overrun with fear and doubt and insecurity, anxiety, either way, it's the opportunity to cultivate a relationship with it, to become a much more embodied, empowered self that isn't afraid to go for what you want and believe in that, and believe you can have these experiences you want. All right, let's move on. And as we continue, November 27th, Saturn will go direct. Saturn going direct also feels really pivotal. And so this is happening like a week after this energy, right? Saturn going direct in Pisces, the whole Saturn Pisces phase, and I was talking about this for months before we hit it, it felt very much like a refinement period. That's how it was feeling to me as we were approaching it. Like I was talking about this in spring, I think even. And so Saturn has been in Pisces since September 1st. It's going to be there until February 13th. And now we're at the part of the phase, words. Now we're at the phase of this where it's now going direct. Anytime a planet like this goes direct, especially Jupiter and Saturn, more than the other planets, I would say. But I see it with the generational planets like Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. But Jupiter and Saturn especially, when those two go direct, the shift that it creates, it almost creates like a little gift or like a little opportunity, like based off of what you've been experiencing so far in the retrograde phase. So if you have been navigating with Saturn Pisces in a way of just full surrender, letting go, detaching, but at the same time, like making sure you're really taking care of your mental health, your emotional well-being, being on top of your spiritual practices for those where that applies. It's not for everybody. But Saturn also likes devotion. And in Pisces, it really likes devotion to the spirit, to the emotional body, to your sense of faith, like what makes you feel hopeful even. And if you have been flowing with that, which is not easy, because Saturn in Pisces also teaches us trust by taking away things that give us reliability, right? It's just how Saturn works. A lot of like unknown void-like energy. And if you have just been surrendering to the process, there is going to be something around Saturn going direct, which again is November 27th, that may be a little opportunity or a gift for learning that, for embodying that, for navigating that. That's just how Saturn and Jupiter tend to work. And if you haven't, don't worry about it. Like you're not going to get any like smackdowns from the cosmic forces or anything. I don't want you to have that in your minds. But for those, again, who've really been embodying this lesson, especially compared to last year, because Saturn was also in Pisces this time a year ago. So if you flash back to 2024, fall, winter 2024, you may recall the void like energy that a lot of the collective was in, a lot of the unknown energy. Destabilizing is what I'm hearing. If you're faring better than you were then, I think especially that in that scenario, you may experience some sort of like opportunity or a little reward for learning to ride that ride, essentially. Excuse me. Also, when Saturn goes direct, no matter what sign it's in, we all get a little bit more vitality back, which I'm looking forward to. I mean, I feel like we've had a lot of intense energy anyway, but there is going to be a little bit of that for some people. Okay. And as we progress, we're going to have a quarter moon in Pisces, and then Mercury is going to finally go direct on the 29th of November. And you know, when Mercury goes direct, the intensity of the challenges that force us into these Mercury retrograde lessons tend to alleviate. They tend to let up a little bit, right? But then we're going to be in the post shadow, which to me is always an integration phase of what we were experiencing during the retrograde, right? So from November 9th to November 29th, these situations that are helping us to cultivate this relationship with our inner animal, whether it is an overdrive of passion or suppression of that, or amplification of fear and insecurity, etc. Just teaching us to, yes, get out of our own way, but by having a larger understanding of who we really are at our core, including our animal, including our shadow, and being able to honor our instincts, our intellect, and our intuition to take the best actions that can align us to what we want, and not being afraid to want what we want, right? Having no shame about it, having no fear about it. As we move into December, we're going to be putting that into practice, essentially. November is the time where we're learning it. December is where we are putting that into practice and actually embodying it, okay? And then we hit the full moon in Gemini on December 4th. That's an interesting one. Because on the full moon Gemini, we still have a grand water trine floating around between Mercury, Jupiter, and Saturn, but we still have Jupiter square Chiron. And I spoke about this maybe a couple months ago. I'm sure you can find the videos on it. It's not going to be in the title, or will it be? I don't remember. I'm sure people will leave comments below if you're curious. But Jupiter square Chiron, we've had this for a while. I want to say we've had this since maybe even September. Definitely October, definitely for the month of October, but maybe even September, all throughout November. And then even in December, it's going to be present until the winter solstice, which is also when we're going to have this like crossing of a new threshold with sacred bonds for anybody who's in that boat. But Jupiter square Chiron is also going to start interacting with Mercury at this point, with the embodiment of this stronger established relationship with our own animals, our own inner animals, and having that confidence and having that shamelessness about it. But it's going to be a little crunchy with the way the aspects are going, because Jupiter square Chiron, while Jupiter is trine Mercury, beautiful, but Chiron and Mercury are in a quincunx. If you don't know what that means, they just don't communicate very well. They just don't communicate very well. So what's happening is Jupiter square Chiron is still continuing to bring up the way we get in our own way, right? Our insecurities and our fears and wounds and trauma and little things like that. The Mercury retrograde phase and the full moon preceding it, the full moon Taurus that I spoke on at the beginning, exacerbated that, okay? At this point, Mercury is now direct. Things are a little bit easier. We still have this Chiron sticky insecure energy, but Jupiter in Cancer is such a benefic energy and so exalted that even though we've had this for a long time and we feel this crunchiness of our insecurities and things, Jupiter has been helping us to see things from a bigger perspective, helping us to actually get in that like heart energy, to be in that strength card energy, to like deal with it. But when Mercury joins in the quincunx with Chiron in Scorpio, there is going to be this temptation, like I was speaking about before, to almost like fight our insecurities, fight our wounds and trauma, like creating an internal Five of Wands, like wanting to push it away, wanting to just destroy it is actually what I'm hearing, wanting to destroy it. You can transmute anything, right? That's also the power of Scorpio. And I guess like that's also where the rub is here. You can't just like suppress it. You can't suppress it. You can transmute it by leaning into the heart, by leaning into understanding, by leaning into compassion, by looking at it from a bigger perspective, by acknowledging that it's there, acknowledging that it's part of you, and having that allowance to do so. And allowing it to show you just things about yourself you didn't know, right? And in that way, you can start to transmute and shift some things for yourself in your relationship to this Chiron energy. And that will be present on the full moon Gemini. And full moons are also illuminating, right? Especially in Gemini, the polarity of self. So again, Mercury will already be direct at this time, but we're integrating. So it's like the new moon Scorpio is kicking off this process of, I really want to say like dancing with the inner wolf, really. And to see I did this, it's like, don't do that with the wolf. Like, it's not going to respond very well. Dance with it, love it, listen to it, acknowledge it, and cultivate that relationship. Full moon Gemini, you're going to come, I think a lot of us are going to come into just a solidified understanding of that relationship, that new relationship that we're cultivating with it. Okay. And then we will continue with this integration phase as we move into deeper into December. And Neptune will go stationary direct in Pisces, which will be very lovely, by the way. Neptune retrograde isn't bad necessarily. I actually feel like when it's direct in Pisces, it's just going to be, I don't want to say, more clear. Neptune's kind of illusionary in and of itself. And when it's kind of like put back in its like normal baseline, I think we're just going to be dancing with that a lot more smoothly. Yeah, a lot more smoothly. And then we're going to hit the quarter moon in Virgo, which by this point, like where the Virgo energy will be on the quarter moon is kind of far from where the south node will be, but it's still a south nodal quarter moon. And so there may be a little bit of energy here of, I want to say, I keep hearing integration. But south nodal moon cycles, they tend to be a little dense. They tend to be a little karmic-y. They tend to be a little bit of a cleanup period of time. And I don't think it's going to be intense because it's a quarter moon and it's not very close to the actual south nodal degree point. So I'm not worried about it, but it is there. And then we're going to finally reach the conclusion of the post shadow for Mercury in Sagittarius, right when Mars goes into Capricorn mid-December. Okay. So that's just a lowdown of the astrology, the timeline of when we're experiencing these certain waves of the lesson of Mercury retrograde for this time around. Okay? Okay, we're ready to get into some cards? I'm ready to get into some cards. Ooh. All right. Let's see here. I do have an oracle deck here, but I know that always makes me go into very long readings. So I might try to avoid that and just go with glow-in-the-dark tarot. Now, as we get started, if you're watching all of the signs, just keep in mind, we do embody all of the signs. And with this Mercury retrograde, there are certain signs that are hitting the collective harder than others, right? Like Jupiter in Cancer. Cancer is going to be a big collective energy. Pisces is a big collective energy right now. Aries is a big collective energy. Scorpio is a big collective energy underneath this Mercury retrograde. So I'm going to say that again. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, and Aries are the big collective signs where there's going to be collective messages in those sign readings. Okay. That being said, let's start with Aries. Okay. I'm hearing tricks of the mind, Aries, which makes sense with all the stuff that we're talking about. Tricks of the mind. I think this is also just tricks of like the perception of how you're seeing yourself and your desires and your inner animal. Belief is a very powerful thing, and perception ties into belief. Affects how clear that lens is that we're looking through, right? What's going on for Aries for the Mercury retrograde cycle? What's going on for Aries? What's going on for Aries? They're showing me the King of Wands. Oh, Aries, you may be having a moment where you are, like, I'm almost seeing like the crown is like, bloop, like it's tilted or toppled a little bit. So I don't know if you're having a humbling moment or just a moment where you're just questioning some things or people are questioning you. It just feels like a moment of crunchiness in terms of your role. Some of you, your integrity. A lot of you, this has to do with work. Three of Pentacles is your first card out. Networking, plans. I'm getting this about plans. Plans and how you are working with other people. Yeah, this feels like a reading about work, Aries. It could also be like friend circle, but like you are Aries. And I'm just getting the vibe that like you're the King of Wands in the group. This is about you and a group of people. This is not like a one-on-one thing. Even if it is a one-on-one thing, other people are privy to it or they're connected to it in some way, shape, or form. But this is about how you exercise your fire. This is about how you exercise leadership for some of you, how you run the show for some of you, and how other people respond to you in that. And I just feel like something specific is being brought up as a problem or an issue in this context. Anything else for Aries for Mercury retrograde? Oh, look, there you are, Aries, King of Wands. The walls in this place are so thin. Anyway, Aries, yeah, Three of Pentacles and King of Wands. This is about how you are, how you operate as the King of Wands within a group. And I really want to say how you like take the lead, or how you are the ringleader, or how you are the boss, or how you are the one that makes things happen. And I do feel a little bit of competitive, like Five of Wands energy, which that can also come up with this Mercury retrograde as well. Scorpio energy, there's going to be some aqua energy that it's still squaring off with. We have a quarter moon in Leo that's part of this phase as well, like in the very beginning. Competitive energy is just part of it. Not for everybody. The Aries, you are a Martian sign. Scorpio is also your sister Martian sign. So it does make sense that competitive energy would show up in your reading. Anything else here for Aries? And again, this feels minor. This doesn't feel really massive, but it just may be like, you know, tugging on your ego a little bit. Ego and a little like, am I handling this right? Is this handling right? Is this going to be a problem? Can I get another card for Aries, please? Yeah, I keep hearing ringleader. Can I get another card for Aries? Look at that, Three of Cups. Yeah, definitely about you and other people. Oh, I like that. Okay. Three of Pentacles, King of Wands, and the Three of Cups. Aries, I feel like literally the solution is just like to bring in more of the play factor, especially the King of Cups being on the bottom. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at the bottom. Hermit, King of Cups, with the Eight of Cups. With the Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups and the Three of Cups, that's a Five of Cups energy there. Yeah, something needs to shift here, Aries, in how you are playing well with others, especially in this more like taking charge aspect of yourself. It's almost like the guidance is to get into the water, right? This is Scorpio, Leo energy here, but again, this is totally you. If you want things to go smoother in this situation and with whoever you're dealing with, that's the advice, is to like get into the waters here. Get into the waters and recognize like what does need to shift. They're highlighting the Five of Cups again. I just keep getting like either someone or you, like there's like some sort of spotlight being shown on you or someone involved in this where something just feels like it's crunchy, it hasn't gone right, or it's not being received right. Like I'm getting a little bit of finger pointing of like, that's not okay. That's not okay to do. That's not okay to do. And I feel like it's actually the whole point is to go from Three of Cups to Three of Pentacles, excuse me, to Three of Cups as a focus. Like not so much on the practical and the logistical, but like the emotional, which is also very Mercury and Scorpio. Because something could be right on paper, practically, right? But it could be handled poorly emotionally. Right? Like let's say a decision was made and you're the one who needs to like communicate it, and you communicate it, but maybe you communicate it in just a very like black and white way, when really a little bit more softness, a little bit more sweetness, a little bit more compassion would have helped it to go a lot smoother. You understand what I'm saying? Even though it's like whatever's happening is happening and it's just part of it. That's how this is coming through. That's how this is coming through. Yeah, that Eight of Cups though. Eight of Cups is not a small thing, even though it's a minor, like a minor arcana. this Five of Cups energy that I keep feeling, the disappointment of how something was handled or is being handled, like just like the typical manner, it's creating more disappointment than what's on the surface. Oh, my throat. This is also the effect of Mercury retrograding in Scorpio. We can see deeper. We're going to feel deeper. We're going to understand deeper. And I think you're just coming to realize how you impact others, even how, or the other way around, how others impact you in this way. But yeah, that Eight of Cups and Five of Cups energy, I just keep getting this feeling of like the disappointment actually cut deep a little bit, either for you or someone you're dealing with, or someone involved in this. Almost emphasizing even more so why this shift is important. A lot of crown energy with you too, Aries, but you do roll ahead, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised about that. I'm gonna get one card on the King of Wands for Aries. Oh, look at you. Look at you, Aries, the Emperor. Not surprised. That's literally one of your cards. Yeah, you're just big boss. Are you surprised? I know you're not. You're the big boss in the room. You're the big boss in the group. You take the lead. It's just who you are. Yeah. Yeah, Aries, like some of you, this may be a little bit of a dose of reality of how the influence and impact of your own power, really, of your own power and authority. Yeah. Yeah, you can deal with this. You can manage this. You can rectify this. Okay? All right. Leo. Oh man, I don't know if there's another solar flare happening or what, but like my crown is I'm getting a lot of visuals. Leo. What's going on for Leos for this Mercury retrograde phase? What's going on for Leos for the Mercury retrograde phase? What's going on for Leos? Leo's horses may be significant for you. That whole family, I want to say, like horses, donkeys, zebras, unicorns, you know understand what I'm saying? I keep needing to stop with you, Leo. Every time I like try to get deeper in your energy, there's almost like a giggly, I couldn't even say that, like a little giggly energy, like a Six of Cups energy, I guess is what I'm sensing here. Oh, well, that's intense. Okay. Wow. This is interesting because this giggly energy to me feels very warm-hearted, and that's not what I'm seeing on the table. So it's making me wonder if you're dealing with someone who's in a very different energy from you. And take it as you will, because like I do feel like I'm looking at someone who is how do I say that? Appear to you, someone who's on like your same level. So whether this is like a family member, a coworker, a friend, or what have you, there's something I like. This might be a strange power dynamic because I'm really want to emphasize they're on your level and you're on their level. Like there's no difference there. But I'm like, why do I feel the need to emphasize that? But I feel like one of you, which I feel like is you, Leo, I feel like you're in this like Six of Cups energy. And the person I'm looking at is so not. Or if they are, it's very deeply hidden. We have King of Swords, Knight of Swords, and Judgment. When I saw that, I was like, whoa. Like, I almost wanted to say, like, back up a little bit. Like, whoa, give me some breathing room. And not like this person is suffocating, but just like this person's energy, it feels like a wave is what it feels like. It feels like a wave of just like intensity, but like maybe intense like communication, intense thoughts. Maybe they're radiating out intense thoughts, and maybe you feel that. But King of Swords, Knight of Swords, and Judgment. I mean, this is I'm getting like direct. Like this is someone who has a very clear, direct, targeted focus of thought, of communication, what they want to say, what they need to say with Judgment. And even with Judgment being here, the Knight of Swords, this person almost feels like, I'm getting the word flooded. It's like they're being flooded with truth. It's like every time I tune into it, I kind of want to like wince a little bit. It's like looking into the sun. It's like this person's being flooded with truth and awareness, and they just need to do something with it, is how it feels. I think for a while, this person, and remember, we're doing Mercury retrograde reading, so this is going to be over the course of weeks, okay? Just intense. It's just intense. As this energy is getting flooded with awareness and truth, I think they are going to take some time to like let it flood their system, and then they may communicate. But I feel like it feels so intense and so fast and so quick. I don't think they're going to be able to sit with themselves in silence with it for very long, And this could be you. Take it as you will. But wow, I definitely want to get some clarifiers on this. Let's look at Judgment. Oh my God, more swords. Page of Swords. Oh my. Oh, Leo. Yeah, I just got to call it. Leo, a lot of you, this may be a romantic connection here, even if it's not romantic yet. Tell me about Judgment. Tell me about Judgment here. Magician and the Knight of Cups. God, it's a lot of energy. You guys might be getting activated, just letting you guys know. Well, you would already know if it hit you already. Judgment with Magician and the Knight of Cups. So this Judgment call, it feels like awareness and truth is flooding this person. That's how it feels to me. Is the Judgment call itself. And what it's doing is, as this like truth and awareness comes through, the Magician and the Knight of Cups, there's suddenly this like clarity of direction. Yeah, there's a clarity of direction, and there's a clarity of like, I can do it this way. I can do it that way. And doing it. There's two knights here. Knight of Cups and the Knight of Swords. That's a lot of movement, right? Knight of Cups, though, this action is being driven by the heart, which is beautiful. I love that. It's one of my it's like my favorite. Actually, is it my favorite knight? Yeah, I'd say the Knight of Cups is my favorite knight. Next to the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, I'd say those two are my favorite. But anyway, driven by the heart, driven by knowing. Driven by knowing. Driven by knowing. Let's look at the Knight of Swords. Oh my God, another knight. Oh, this is happening fast. Tell me about the Knight of Swords for Leo. Tell me about the Knight of Swords here for Leo from Mercury retrograde. Six of Pentacles. The action being taken here is in the name of reciprocity and balance. I'm going to get one more on the Six of Pentacles. Wow, and taking a chance on that. I can't get over how intense this is. Knight of Swords with the Fool and the Six of Pentacles. And this, again, it definitely feels like taking a chance on this, but it's not really a chance because there's so much knowing behind it. There's so much like even divine knowing behind this. Heart energy, intuitive energy, intellect is behind this as well. It's like a train that's not going to be stopped. Like once this awareness and truth floods this person, and again, it could be you, there's no stopping the movement. Knight of Wands still at the bottom. Talking about the King of Swords, I'll move on to Sagittarius. Talking about the King of Swords here. Interesting. Eight of Swords flew out in reverse. I don't normally read reversals. All the cards in the deck are upright, and it just flew out like this. And I do feel like it's kind of honing in on what we're picking up here in the reading, because this is clarity. This is clarity. This is seeing how we were limiting ourselves, and we're no longer limiting ourselves because we're being flooded with truth and awareness. It's also highlighting fears. Tell me about this Eight of Swords around the King of Swords. Tell me about this Eight of Swords around the King of Swords. Another eight. Eight of Cups. This is Saturn Pisces. This has been coming out for a lot of people. It's going to continue to do so until February, most likely. So letting fear go. Letting fear go. Yeah, I just keep hearing flooding. Oh, being flooded with this truth and this awareness, it's like destroying any illusion of limitation. Yeah, I'm gonna say that again. Being flooded with this kind of truth and awareness is destroying any sense or illusion of limitation. Also building up to the Eight of Cups, which is letting go of what was holding us back. Tell me more about the King of Swords here. Yeah, wow. Look, so much, all movement cards, man. So many movement cards. For some of you, this could be culminating into an actual physical move of some kind. I keep getting this as relational, especially with the Six of Pentacles beak here. Oh, I just got nasally. Like closing the gap with somebody, because there's this like undeniable knowing now that like, oh, I was just holding this up, or I was just holding back because I was scared, or I thought this wasn't possible. And I'm seeing now it's possible. One more in the Chariot and the Eight of Cups. Two of Wands, making different choices. One more and then we'll move on to Sag. It's like, again, it's making different choices. It's making the choice to choose truth that this person's being flooded with. Truth and want and desire, and walking away from limitation and fear. Wow. Empress and the King of Wands. For some of you Leos, this is also about recognizing that you actually are capable and deserving of and can have abundance and prosperity and comfort. I'm getting a lot of comfort, material comforts, and that's okay. There's no shame in that. There's no shame in wanting that. There's no shame in achieving that or experiencing that. But that you can have it. And for those where, again, I feel like a relationship is really at the core of this for a lot of you. But if this is about a relationship, there's a lot of passion here. I also want to say respect. There's a lot of respect. One more on the King of Wands and Empress. I just have to, and then we'll close out. One more on the King of Wands and the Empress. Ace of Pentacles. Oh man, there's that internal conflict with the Five of Wands. Again, this feels internal. I don't feel like you're fighting other people. I feel like you're fighting yourself here. But that Ace of Pentacles can be new beginning. It can be material resources, security, money, that kind of thing. So again, if you're really realizing what you want is comfort, material security, you can have that, and it's okay. You don't need to be ashamed about that, and you're capable of going for it, and you're capable of maintaining it. Okay. And if this is about a connection, which again I think is a lot for you, a lot of you here, whatever fears or limitations you had in your mind about this connection that made you not embrace it, or just not look at it, or just in your mind just nix it as a potential, you're not holding back anymore. Ace of Pentacles also gives me a very tangible vibe. Like you may be like, if this is whoever's approaching, you or another person, whoever's doing the approaching here, it's a very tangible, like, hey, I want to take you out on a date, or hey, I have a gift for you. You know what I mean? It's something like that. Wow. Okay. Sagittarius. Just feeling into you for a second. Your heart's running wild, is what I just heard. You may be going through a lot of heart palpitations. That it's collective right now. Ooh, Sag, are you having trouble taming the fire? I want to say don't tame it. But that's a Lilith Sag talking, so, you know, take that for what you will. I like this energy. I do. I like it a lot, actually. The Two of Cups just showed itself with the Two of Pentacles. Your heart is running wild and free, and your body wants to follow, and I think you're not sure if you should let it. It's like, that's what it's feeling like. Whew. Yeah, your heart is making your body feel a lot, and you're just like, I don't know if I should be doing this. I don't know if I should be allowing this. I don't know if I should just like be letting myself. Should I? I don't know. It could be fun. Like, it's giving me a little bit of like the devil and angel on your shoulder, but like the devil is also just you. It's your inner animal. I'm gonna be devil's advocate. I think you should just go for it. But you know, maturity and wisdom and all that stuff. Sagittarius. What's going on for Sagittarius during this Mercury retrograde cycle? Something about Saturn. You could have an interesting Saturn placement, or your Saturn could be... Okay, let me back up. Your natal Saturn could be going through something right now, or Saturn, where it is now, could be doing something to your chart. Saturn is at Pisces, 25 degrees. Actually, for a good chunk of this phase, because it's going direct in November. Yeah, it's going to be at 25 degrees for quite a while. So that 25 degree point could be significant for you, or like give or take a couple degrees. Sagittarius, now they're showing me the Sun card. Ooh, after talking about Saturn, I feel that relief. Like I was getting that like intense wave of impulse. And then we talked about Saturn, and it almost felt like it dissipated. Interesting. So some of you guys are practicing some discipline here with your fire, even though you just want to run wild. I'll be honest, some of you just may be very sexual. So we have Queen of Cups. I like that for you. This feeling your feelings. Feeling your feelings. You could also be feeling really intuitive at this time. Most of us will be, water, including non-water signs. But Sag, you are the intuitive fire sign, is what I refer to you as. Anything else for Sagittarius for this Mercury retrograde cycle? Yeah, like we have water on the table, but I can't stop feeling your fire. And I feel like you're trying really hard to almost like put your fire out to maintain it, which is kind of interesting. It's not bad or good. It just is interesting. So much imagery coming through. I just saw Pegasus. So yeah, you could have something in Pisces in your chart. Where is Saturn right now again? Where Neptune and Saturn are, they may be in the Pegasus constellation. You just want to run wild. I can't stop feeling it. You just want to run wild. You just want to fly. You just want to go just like in a saggy way. You just want to follow your heart and your passion, and it's just, that's all you want to do. That's all you want to experience. And I think you're while you're trying to hold back, you're trying to discipline yourself. I really think you're just going to eventually go for it because it's freedom. Anything else for Sagittarius? Yeah, I love that. Yeah, look at that. The Fool. Six of Swords on the bottom. Some of you guys could be taking a trip here. Actually, yeah, thank you. I'm getting a plane. Some of you guys may be getting on a plane to just venture. I love it. Yeah, I think you're not going to be able to hold back. And again, I don't think you're supposed to. Remember, a lot of these lessons around this time is like, don't suppress the animal. Don't suppress the wolf. Let it roam. Let it smell. Let it howl. Let it do what it wants to do, and like guide it, right? Guide it. Create a relationship with it so that it trusts you and you trust it, and like you can be in balance with it. Your heart is telling you to do something. Your heart is like, I need this. I want this. Let's do it. And the Fool's like, okay. Let's see. A third card for Sagittarius for the Mercury retrograde cycle. Ooh, the Moon. I was getting the Sun with you before, but interesting, we have the Moon. On the bottom, Eight of Wands, some more about travel and movement. This is Mercury Sag. I expect to see this out for quite some time. And we do have the Three of Swords poking out, though. That feels just like discomfort of not honoring your, like, some of your desires here. But the Moon is intriguing. It goes well with the Queen of Cups. It's almost like here you are, feeling all your things, your desires, your impulses, your passions, your emotions, things you want. The Fool is begging you to like be in the Fool energy. But then we have the Moon here, kind of the Moon and the Queen of Cups sandwiching the Fool. Again, these are very like similar energies. The Queen looks into the Moon. She is the Moon a lot of times. The Queen of Cups, I mean. The moon is the psyche. It could be fears, could be intuition, emotions, things that are hidden, mystery, that kind of vibe. It's like your wolf is screaming this, but there's another part of you that's trying to say something else as well. And I think you're actually having a hard time hearing that part. You're hearing your wolf very loud and clear. Very loud and very clear. But something else is being said to you, from within. And I think that's actually something you're struggling to listen to. Tell me about the moon. Let's look at the moon. It's too many. What's going on with this moon energy for Sag? Well, that's a lot. It's a lot behind the moon. Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles. So there's another little voice going on inside of you, Sag. Almost said Scorpio, so you guys could be a cusper, but also big collective energies, right? The Ten of Pentacles is about your future stability and legacy. So your wolf is saying, go, leap, be free, be wild. And another part of you is like, the future stability. Poke, poke, nod, nod, future stability. And then we get death with Six of Cups and Page of Swords. This is a new perspective, is what I'm gathering. This is like some major new insight that's coming to you about yourself, your past, your patterns, as a result of this phase. And I want to say it's actually tying to the moon here. So while the wolf is begging you to take some sort of leap and to be wild and free, there's another part of you that is wanting you to see something about your patterns and how that impacts your long-term security, your long-term material security, your long-term vision. And it may be saying different things to different people. You know what I mean? Because it depends on who you are and where you're at. Like for some of you, it could be like, hey, you do need to make more room for the wolf in your life. Right? Some of you may be like, hey, you let your wolf run a little too wild. You need to rein it in for the sake of your material, the stability of your material future. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. Let's take a look at the Fool. Oh, we got double on the bottom. Yeah, some of you guys is tying into your patterns around money. How you handle money in relation to your desires. Talking about the Fool. And again, I'm getting like opposite end of the spectrum because it's going to be different for everybody. Like some of you may have a problem with holding on to money because you listen to your wolf too much, or let it run the show too much. So it's the opposite. Some of you, it's like maybe you don't actually spend a lot of money and you kind of hoard money because you're afraid to let the wolf have a little leeway. Take it as you will. Talking about the Fool for Sagittarius. Seven of Swords. Don't love that. Oh yeah, and then we got Nine of Cups and the Devil poking out. Yeah, so Saggy, most of you, what you're going to be learning with this Mercury retrograde is how to get your relationship with your wolf just in a stronger alignment, okay? Like deepen your relationship with your wolf so that you don't sabotage yourself. So that you don't sabotage either your long-term financial, like material security situation, or you don't sabotage just like allowing your spirit to have what it wants just for the sake of long-term security. You understand what I'm saying? That seems pretty clear here. It's like some of you, it's like listening to the wolf at this time too much could be very sabotaging for you. Some of you, it's actually like not listening to it could also be sabotaging you. So like, you know who you are, you know where you're at on that spectrum. Oh man. Can I get one more with the Fool and the Seven of Swords? Empress. We have Ace. Is it Ace Wands? Oh, Ace of Cups poking out. At the end of the day, Sag, you clearly want a life where you get to feel free. You get to feel like you can engage and indulge in your whimsy. but that you also have some security in the long term, some stability in the long term. This is the line you're walking no matter what end of the spectrum you're on. Are you sabotaging the yummy desires and pleasure you can experience as an empress, or are you sabotaging your ability to be an empress materially, right? Again, that's the question for you. You know how to answer that for yourself, okay? Wow. Some of these desires could be about a relationship. Again, a lot of relationship stuff going on for the rest of the year. And if that's the case, it's still the same question. It's like, your relationship with your wolf dictates a level of sabotage in one way or another. Either you sabotage the pleasure and whimsy of your soul, or you sabotage your financial security. You just need to find the right balance here to allow for both, right? To allow for healthy experiences of both. All right. Let's get into air signs, which is actually perfect. We're going right into Gemini out of Sagittarius. Gemini for Mercury retrograde. Let's see here. What's going on for my Geminis? Yeah, we're doing just tarot today. I do have an oracle deck out here, but I'm just not feeling it today. Gemini. Ooh, Gemini. What's going on for my Gems? The letter T may be significant for you. Maybe getting a lot of tea around this time. You are an air sign. So this is a period of truth, right? Oh, I just heard the word integrity. Oh, interesting. Gemini. Any messages or insights for Gemini for this Mercury retrograde cycle? Any messages or insights for Gemini? Moon and Libra energy, 2 of Swords. Okay. I don't meet a lot of Geminis who ever feel uncertain. And I'm feeling an uncertainty from you. Suddenly the energy feels like it really just slowed down. What is this uncertainty for Gemini? Oh, something is making you feel uncertain about what you thought you were certain about. Like questioning what you thought you knew, questioning what you thought was true. Ooh, there we go. Questioning what you thought was for sure true. Some of you guys, this could actually be like recognizing that maybe you just made a bad judgment call here. Like you put a label on something too quickly. Like, this is bad, this is good, this is yes, this is a no, this is like this is like that, and it just is what it is. Like, I'm almost getting very black and white. And during this, oh, interesting. So Geminis, and I do think Geminis tend to be a little bit black and white sometimes, but you were very black and white about something, you were very sure about something. And this Mercury retrograde phase is gonna make you question that. It's like you're going from black and white to gray. Nuance is what I'm hearing. Anything else for Gemini for this Mercury retrograde cycle? Confident card, King of Wands. Again, you were very certain about something and now you're not. Like you thought you had something figured out and you're like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh. Ooh, Gemini. 5 of Cups. Page of Cups on the bottom. I'm not going to say you were wrong about something. I just think it's like, I'm just hearing black and white, but it's just not that simple. And you're realizing that. And because you were very black and white about something, there is some sort of level of disappointment of like, oh, like why did I think that, or why did I judge it like that, or like why did I see it that way? Almost like you're feeling like you missed out on something, or missed out on someone. Again, relationships seem to be huge around this time. Let's look at the 2 of Swords. 8 of Wands. Some sort of movement, action, communication with the 2 of Swords. Hold on a second. What's making you realize this is like the need to actually progress or make some moves in some manner here is what I'm gathering. Like, I'm trying to think of an example. Let's say this is work related. Let's say you like met someone at work or someone new came into work and you're like, oh, that's that kind of person. I don't need to be dealing with them, right? Like a judgment call. And maybe at work, like maybe there's a new project at play, or maybe there's an opportunity, like a travel work opportunity or whatever. And this person does something the exact opposite of what you would expect in a positive way. And you're like, oh shit, I totally misjudged them. And now I need to like navigate this with them, and I thought they were like this, but they're really like this, and I treated them like this. You know, understand what I'm saying? It's like, it's interesting. Even as I'm talking about it, I almost feel like there's too much intellectualizing going on. Yeah, like there's too much intellectualizing going on here. I just think you're getting a little hung up on like how you were so sure something was a certain way or someone was a certain person, and realizing that's not the case. I feel like you're really getting hung up on that, on just how you, like why you saw it that way, instead of just being in the moment with it and just being like, okay, well, this is where we're finding ourselves. What can we do about this? But the situation you're finding yourself in, I feel like you are actually being presented with an opportunity to like make some moves here in this situation, to progress in some way, like literal travel, or to grow in some way, or to elevate in some way. And whatever you were wrong about is directly tied to it. I don't have another way to describe it. Whatever you were so absolute about directly impacts the path that you're about to walk. But just put it that way. In a way where it's making you feel some kind of way, maybe even feel guilty for some of you. Tell me more about the Eight of Wands and the Two of Swords. This is really interesting, Gemini. Tell me more about the Eight of Wands and the Two of Swords for Gemini. Oh, wow. King of Wands, Queen of Wands. This is clarifying the Two of Swords. That moment of, oh, I wasn't right about that. Temperance with the Queen of Wands. If you were wrong about a person, this is again the clear knowing that you were, and that whatever path that you need to walk in this situation is directly tied to this person or directly tied to this misjudgment. Temperance with the Queen of Wands here implies that there is like a wanting to rectify this, but not really knowing how to rectify it. Because I feel like you are really hung up on the intellectualizing of like why you were wrong or how you were wrong, like trying to figure out where, like trying to figure out just like where you went wrong, like how did that happen? I almost want to say it doesn't matter. It's like to just be present with it and to just like recognize, like if you want to fix your mistake, so to speak, right? Then like just start treating that person the way they deserve to be treated, or you know, according to who they really are. Yeah. And if you were wrong about something outside of you that doesn't have to do with a person, there's something about the way you judged something. I'm hearing quick decision. Quick decision that's tied to your feminine energy. Oh, thank you, Spirit. That's what it is. So for those of you where you made some sort of misjudgment here, I want to say you were almost like not in your feminine energy. Like you were almost like making a decision out of force. You weren't making a decision from what you actually needed. It was just like a very quick decision. And I want to say it was forced. And of course, after making that choice, you're realizing, oh, I was wrong. Like, why did I do this? Why did I get myself into this? Interesting. I want to look at the Five of Cups. How about the Five of Cups for Gemini? Tell me about the Five of Cups for Gemini. Oh my, yeah, Lottie, this is about a relationship. Page of Wands, Justice, and the Two of Cups. So again, Most of you, this is about a connection of sorts, and you just want to make something right because you misjudged somebody, or you just didn't see something clearly about them or about a situation you're both involved in. And now you're at this point where, like, whatever you're doing on your path or in your life, it's bringing this up. It's making you aware that you made a mistake. Now, it could be reversed. This could be about someone who made a mistake about you, as y'all know. But yeah, Five of Cups with the Page of Wands, Justice, and the Two of Cups, that's literally like, I want to come in and make something right. It's super clear. It's like super like, boop, like, it's like obvious. So maybe this could have involved a child or your inner child. But I'm seeing that with the King of Wands, the Queen of Wands, and the Page of Wands. Like, this could be someone that, like, you had a kid with, not all of you. I would say, actually, like, not most of you. Talk about the King of Wands. Talk about the King of Wands here for Gemini. Because justice in the situation is the Two of Cups. And if you are in the boat where you made some sort of decision or judgment call from a not being in your feminine, like from a purely masculine energy of just like forcing things to happen, this is you wanting to rectify that within yourself. And I think you're going to do that through the inner child. Wow. Jesus. So Gemini, with King of Wands, we now have the Queen. I'm hearing Chiron. Some of you guys have the Chiron Gemini. That was super random. Or Chiron Leo. Chiron is coming up here, but Chiron's a collective energy. But anyway, clarifying the King of Wands, we have the Queen of Swords, the Ten of Cups, and the Five of Pentacles. It's this knowing of, like, the decision you made or the judgment call you made, like, created a Five of Pentacles energy, or you operated from a Five of Pentacles space. When you could have been operating with the Ten of Cups, but you were operating with the Five. You were operating from fear or scarcity or survival, or just feeling like you had to. I'm getting like quick, rushed, impulsive, not in the feminine. And for those where this is someone you have a child with, I am seeing like very clearly here with between the King of Wands, Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords is the divorcee or the widower with the Ten of Cups and the Five of Pentacles, right? So yeah, Gemini, for some of you, this is someone that you were in a relationship with, potentially having a child, not all of you, and there was some sort of split, and that's like very obvious to me, and you're realizing the Justice is the Two of Cups. So take all this for what you will. Some of you just acted from a purely masculine space in your own life, and you're realizing you did a disservice to your own needs, your own feminine energy, and you're wanting to rectify it. Some of you misjudged another person. You don't have to be romantically involved with them. You don't have to have a child with them. But if you misjudge somebody, it's someone that is akin to you. It's someone who is like you, like who understands you, who probably actually brings a good amount of happiness. But you misjudge them for whatever reason, probably because you were acting out of Five of Pentacles energy and not seeing things clearly, but now you do. Wow. All right. Libra. Hearing Reckoning. I think that was for Gemini. I was just wondering what that noise was. Libra. What's going on for Libra? Messages or insights for Libra? For the Mercury retrograde cycle. Libra. Messages or insights for Libra for the Mercury retrograde cycle. Libra, I'm getting something interesting with you. I suddenly felt the need to be very soft with you. I do feel like something's fractured. Something has fractured. Don't get scared about that. I think that's something that's already happened. If it hasn't happened yet, I really want to say don't let it dissuade you or dismay you. It's like, I don't know, it's just psychic verbiage. It's so weird the way I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it almost like a crack in the earth is what I'm seeing it as, but it's like lit up in green. which to me does say the heart space, but they're showing it to me like a crack in the earth. In your root, in your foundation, something has been fractured. And I feel like you're just sitting with it. I feel like you're tending to it. It's also giving me that vibe of like just sitting by like a river and just sitting and feeling and contemplating and reflecting. Again, I don't think you have to be worried about this. There's something about this that feels like it actually has served you some good, even if you don't see that yet. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of like earth references, like tectonic plates splitting apart, even like a river, like the way a river is created. A lot of times it's just like enough like consistent water flow just starts to carve out the earth, right? And then you start to get a little pool of water, a flow of water that creates the river. You know what? Thank you, Spirit. This is a fracture. I think this fracture's been there. I think it's been there. I don't think it's new. I think your awareness of it is new. This could be like literally something that's just in your heart space, like an old pain. But even like the way that I just described that, I'm like, oh, duh. Like rivers are also kind of fractures in the earth. Sometimes rivers are created because of seismic activity. But yeah, this actually is not sudden. This isn't sudden. Your awareness of it is sudden. This is a fracture that's been there and it's been slowly maintained, I want to say. It's gone unresolved, and you know it, and you're finally sitting with it. You're finally sitting with it. Oh, Libra. Any messages or insights for Libra? I like that. That's nice. Ace of Wands. This is the sacred flame for me as a reader. It's the ace of purpose and passion, or callings and mission work, right? But it's our sacred flame. It's the flame of our soul that drives us. I feel like this is something that is emerging for you as you sit by the river. Maybe you have been sitting by the river metaphorically, which I feel like is you just sitting with this fracture. Yeah, so you may have been sitting with this for a while now. Maybe the awareness came already before, and now this phase is about letting new life come in, letting new life come through that fracture. It's also reminding me of that. I know this is like a thing in the spiritual community, like this reference of that Japanese pottery with like the gold, right? Like where the cracks like are also where the light comes through. Like it's where we may be fractured and hurt and wounded, but it's also where the light breaks through. That's what I'm getting. The light is finally breaking through of this fracture because you've tended to it. Because you've tended to it. Now remember, this is a reading that's taking place over the course of a lot of weeks. So you know where you're at in this, whether you're just becoming aware of the fracture, or you've been sitting with this fracture for a while, or the light is finally emerging through this fracture because you've tended to it. Anything else for Libra? Some of you guys are getting called to travel far away. I'm getting like international travel, like going to another country. I want to say one where there's rainforests. There's rainforests everywhere, but something about rainforests. Queen of Cups. You feel in the fracture, you tending to the fracture. Yeah, the light is breaking through the fracture now. Again, because you've tended to it as the Queen of Cups. Anything else here for Libra? Ooh. Ooh. Knight of Pentacles. So the light's breaking through the fracture. Again, you've tended to the fracture as the Queen of Cups, but the Knight of Pentacles is diligence and consistency, loyalty, predictability. And I feel like that is how you have been tending to yourself, tending to this fracture, hence why the Ace of Wands is now emerging from it. But I also feel like the light that's breaking through this fracture is some sort of like new inspiration, new desire for something. And I feel like because you have become so good at being so consistent, even with just tending to yourself, thank you, you're going to externalize that level of discipline. You're going to externalize that level of consistency with the Ace of Wands. So you've been doing this with yourself in your internal world and this particular fracture, this particular wound. And now that this like new sense of life and inspiration and fire is emerging through that, finally solidifying that you are complete with sitting with that fracture. Now you're going to take that level of dedication, devotion, consistency, and discipline, and you're going to do something with it. Ooh, and bring something into physical form. Ooh, I'm super excited. Let's see. Talking about the Ace of Wands for Libra. It's, as a channeler, it's amazing just like what comes through, because sometimes I get the most random shit, like pancakes. Like, why are pancakes coming through? Like, maybe you're eating pancakes, maybe you've been craving pancakes and it's just one of your favorite things. I don't know your life like that. Tell me about the Ace of Wands. Like, I'm getting grape juice. Like, are you feeding your kids? Maybe you're just making breakfast for your kids. Tell me about Ace of Wands for Libra. It's funny, grape juice. Can't remember last time I had grape juice. Tell me about Ace of Wands for Libra. Tell me about the Ace of Wands for Libra. Oh man. Three of Swords and the Knight of Wands. Like I said, this is the light that's breaking through the crack. The fracture that you've been tending to is the Queen of Cups. This is also speaking to that with the Three of Swords, the pain and discomfort that comes with not just sitting with a fracture, but like as the fracture heals. Like sometimes when we heal or we're allowing something to be integrated or complete or what have you by sitting with it, tending to it, it actually can be uncomfortable and painful. Like if any of you have ever had like surgery or a really deep cut, when it heals, it hurts, right? Like the scar tissue starts to develop and it's like, it's like, right? Even though you know you're mending, even though you know you're healing, even though you know that like something is being resolved and you are being done away with something, that's what I'm getting with the Three of Swords. And the Knight of Wands is just the deliverer of the wand. It's just the carrier of the wand, right? Again, I just feel like all I'm seeing is just the light that's trying to break through this fracture. And that light is your passion, it's your flame, it's your fire, it's desire, it's inspiration, passion. The Knight of Wands being here is also the desire to do something with it, the desire to do something with it, and you will eventually physically do something with it when you're ready. So the desire is there, and some of you Libras, however long you've been tending to this fracture, you may have also had this moment of discomfort where you can feel that you really do want to do something. You're like, okay, I'm ready to move on, but like, you know, you're actually not fully ready, right? It's like there's a full embodiment that has to take place. It's like the desire for new, the desire to, the desire to honor this like light and this flame and this fire and this passion has been there, but you've known that like, you need to wait till you're fully ready to physically actually do it. Because just because the light starts to break through doesn't mean the healing's over. It doesn't mean the mending is over. And I know like healing is also starting to become like a weird, dirty word in our world, which I also think is kind of a strange thing. It just seems to happen, doesn't it? Like anytime there seems to be a focus in the collective, after a long enough period of time, it becomes distorted. You know, I don't know if y'all ever noticed that, but it just blows my mind. Anyway. Because you have the light starts to come through, but you got to wait for that light to turn to gold. You got to wait for that light to actually cement over the fracture, for the scar tissue to develop, and then you can go about your business, right? So yeah, some of you have been wanting this for a while, and I feel a little bit of frustration and impatience there. Let's look at the Knight of Pentacles. Tell me about the Knight of Pentacles, because this is you actually doing something with the wand here. Physically. Tell me about the Knight of Pentacles and honoring that desire to do something with it. Tell me about the Knight of Pentacles for Libra. Keep hearing Leo with you. Could we know the Leo? Could have that in your chart. Again, quarter moon in Leo is actually coming up soon. Tell me about the Knight of Pentacles. Like I want to say the 12th or 13th, something like that. Tell me about the Knight of Pentacles here for Libra. Yeah, look at you. Queen of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles and Queen of Pentacles. You're going to do something with that wand. You are going to take action. Once the light has turned into solidified scar tissue gold on your fracture here, you will be able to do something with it. And it actually is creating this Queen of Pentacles energy for you out of the Queen of Cups. So some sort of form of stability. Some of you, this is monetizing your pain. Some of you, this is taking your life experience and using that to help people or to put something out in the world because of your life experience. That's also very much Jupiter square Chiron, which collectively we're all under right now too. One more for the Knight of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. Interesting. A lot of pentacles over here, Libra. Lots of pentacles. So again, I see you bringing something into physical form for yourself, and it's offering you a lot of stability, actually. It's giving you stability and it's giving you balance. And some of you, your money is going to improve. One more in the Knight of Pentacles. I also see you embracing more nourishing people in your life. More stable people in your life. One more in the Knight of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, and Two of Pentacles. Right? Yeah, look at that. The Star. Wish fulfillment and healing for some of you, but I'm just getting like happiness and fulfillment. Happiness and fulfillment. Beautiful. All right, let's go into Aquarius. 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 What's going on with my aquas? Let me get a little sip of coffee. There's a tickle in your heart. Oh, my whole my whole right leg started to freak out as I said that. Oh, that was weird. Okay. God, it's so crazy how the body talks, doesn't it? Yeah, Aquarius, you got some sort of tickle in your heart. I don't know another way to explain that. Your heart's getting tickled. Your heart's telling you something. 130, 113, as I said that. 13113, so ones and threes obviously could be significant. But the right leg thing, that to me says action to be taken. I forgot who else had this. Like the heart was driving somebody. It feels like your heart is like nudging you gently. Gently. I keep getting a tickle. It's a little tickle. To take action on something. It's also giving me Ma'at energy though too. I'm guessing a feather. Like Ma'at, Anubis energy of like weighing the heart against the feather. I'm also seeing that too. Aqua, there's something about this little tickle in your heart and the action that it's like encouraging you to take. I want to say is a redemption for you, actually. I did get that word, redemption. And it may even lighten your heart a little bit if you do take this action. It's interesting, it's a tickle. Like, it's just so subtle. It's so subtle. I'm hearing like the action itself. So the action you're being guided to take is gifting some of you some form of redemption. But at the same time, the action itself is light. It's like, it's a lighthearted action. Some of you, this is forgiveness. It's a lighthearted action. It's a heartfelt action, but the action itself is not heavy. This is also why the call in your heart is a tickle. It's matching the action to take. It's like the action itself may even be very sweet that you're being guided to take, very tender, very compassionate, not aggressive, but it's coming on the right side, the masculine side, so it's proactive. What's going on for Aquarius? Even the redemption, it's like, I think this light, tender, potentially sweet, lighthearted, soft action you're taking. Some of you, it's putting you in a state of vulnerability that you haven't been in a while. Or maybe towards a specific person in a while. Aquarius for Mercury retrograde. Oh, wow. Okay, that makes sense. So we're still going to get another card, but look at this. Yeah, Five of Swords and the Six of Cups. This action is your redemption. It's getting rid of the Five of Swords. Against the Six of Cups. Like, that's like, it's kind of the epitome of what I'm getting with you. Six of Cups is a tickle. Six of Cups is like butterflies and little warm fuzzies and nostalgia and all that good stuff, right? The tickle you're feeling is the Six of Cups. But the Five of Swords is surrounding you. I want to say you've been in the Five of Swords about a particular situation in your life. Could even be a relationship, because that's just like prominent right now. And it's actually been making your heart heavier than it needs to be. Yeah, it's been making your heart heavier than it needs to be. Your ego's been telling you something. Five of Swords can be Aquarian energy, by the way, just letting you know. Some of you may have been having moments of being at war with yourself, because I feel like your ego or your mind has been telling you to almost like guard yourself against something, to protect yourself against something here, that your heart is saying, no, it tickles us. Your heart is going, that tickles, that feels good. Let's embrace that. And your ego's like, no. Your ego's like, we're not doing that. We're not doing that shit. We're not going there. And your heart's like, but it tickles. Sorry, I love how messages come through. I don't know why I'm saying sorry. Yeah, your heart is saying, let's not do this. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Look, 10 of Cups on the bottom with the Empress. Can I get another card for Aquarius? I'm starting to feel kind of sad. Can I get another card for Aquarius, please? For Mercury retrograde. Keep in mind, this is a reading that's covering many weeks. Temperance. Let's not do that. Let's embrace the tickle and step towards the tickle. Yeah, there's something almost like playful and almost like silly coming up in that energy. I like that. Yeah, this is requiring softness, and you're struggling to let yourself be that. One more for Aquarius, please. 8 of Wands, the action. 8 of Wands is more mercurial because it's Mercury Sag, right? So this is actually more like ideas and communication, but it can be physical movement. But the 8 of Wands is unstoppable. The 8 of Wands is inevitable. There's no stopping the 8 of Wands here. Yeah, again, 10 of Cups is still on the bottom. I can't get over Aquarius. Your heart is experiencing a tickle of sorts, and your heart's like, let's go there. Let's embrace that. Let's walk towards that. And your ego is like, no. Your ego is trying so hard to shut down the tickle, but I want to say it's actually weighing on your heart because your heart knows what it wants. Your heart knows what it wants. And I do think, especially with the 10 of Cups being on the bottom, like, this is something that could actually bring you a lot of happiness, even if it's like a small step in the direction of the 6 of Cups. It can be a person, doesn't have to be, but it could also just be situations or activities or environments that like tickle your heart, make you laugh, make you giggle, you know, make you feel warm and fuzzy. And that's beautiful. Talking about the 5 of Swords. Let's look at the 5 of Swords. Let's take a peek at this, Aquarius. Yeah, Ma'at and Anubis may be coming up a lot for you at this time. I feel like Anubis especially, you may be seeing like, you may be seeing like black dogs a lot or hearing a lot of dogs barking. You just may be very aware of them. I'm also getting cats though too. Aqua. I feel like Aquas, every once in a while we have this kind of a talk. 5 of Swords, 9 of Swords, and the Ace of Swords. You know the truth. Like, that's what's like, you gotta laugh sometimes. You gotta laugh sometimes. You know the truth about this. Your heart wants to be tickled. Your heart and your soul are like, let's just keep getting tickled. It's okay. You're terrified of it. And I get it. I understand. You're clearly guarding yourself because of some sort of fear. Probably something that happened in your past where you embraced the tickle and it didn't go so well. It turned into a punch in the face, probably, you know? But 9 of Swords, 5 of Swords, you're doing this out of fear. This is a fear response. And the Ace of Swords says, you know it is. The Ace of Swords says, you know this is a fear response. You may have resonated with the Strength card message I put out a couple days ago. The 9 of Swords and 5 of Swords, there's a 4 of Swords energy there, which is about taking some time to reflect, which I think would benefit you. Taking some time to recover, rest, heal, and reflect. Actually heavy on the 4 of Swords, I just realized, because the 9 minus the 5 is 4, but also the 5 minus the Ace is 4. There's also probably an 8 of Swords energy in here too. Yeah, Aqua, you know the truth. You know why you're responding this way. Some of you may feel like you're actually you have more of like an avoidant attachment style if this is about a person. But it's not just about a person for some of you. Some of you, it's literally just like embracing things in your life that make you feel tickled and warm and fuzzy and soft. Tell me about the tickle. Tell me about the Six of Cups for Aquarius. Back of my head just started to hurt. You could be experiencing something with the soul star chakra. Oh, thank you. That makes sense. The tickle you're feeling for a lot of you is leading to the Ten of Cups if you embrace it. And that's just waking up and feeling like you're very happy with your life and everyone in your life. That's what that is. To be honest, I feel like it's kind of rare, but it does happen. It does happen. Yeah, I feel like you would totally resonate with the message I put out a couple days ago. Happy beginnings are very real, okay? They are very real. You just have to believe that they are, and you have to allow yourself to recognize how you may sabotage yourself away from those things because of the noise within yourself, which is coming up here with the Nine of Swords. But I want to come back here to this Ten of Cups energy. Yeah, this tickle you're feeling, it's just trying to lead you to long-term happiness. Even if that's just like a life of your own making or people that evoke that for you. You're allowed to have that, and you can have it, and it doesn't have to go awry. Anyway, tell me about the tickle with the Six of Cups here. Your heart's trying to take you to your future. And I want to say a future that you really want, actually. Ten of Pentacles. Legacy. Legacy, the future, long-term security is on your mind. But I really want to say it's the life that makes you feel warm and fuzzy and tickled and taken care of. No matter who is in it or what you're doing. It's like, those are the things that your heart is saying, please embrace those things. Please embrace those people. Like, we can have this. I mean, look at that. Tell me about the Eight of Wands. This is the action your heart is saying to take and embrace. Tell me about the Eight of Wands here for Aquarius. Tell me about the Eight of Wands for Aquarius. Three of Cups. It's trying to get you to go be happy. This feels like embracing people, or at least one person who probably makes you really, really happy, even if you're even if you're terrified of how happy they make you. Yeah, so I have the Eight of Wands and the Three of Cups. I'll get one more on this. Oh look, the Strength card. We know why this is here. This is part of the message I put out the other day. Manage the noise. Manage the noise, Aquarius. You don't need to sabotage yourself here. You can go be happy. You can go and be happy. You just gotta navigate the noise and the fear. All right? Definitely go watch that if you're resonating with this reading. All right. Earth signs. Let's get into Taurus. Yellow sip of water here. Oh, hey, buddy. I was feeling him. I was like, maybe like the last like 10 minutes or so, I started thinking a lot about him, and I'm like, oh, maybe they're just wondering how he is. And then I turned around and he's just staring at me. It's like, oh, he's awake. He's propped up from his nap. Hey, buddy. Where are you? I just saw you. There you are. Yeah? Sorry, guys. Give me a second. What's up, Bubster? Yeah? I know you had a good nap. All right, let's get into Taurus. Change the timestamp on that. All right. Taurus, bulls. How are the bulls doing? You feeling that Uranus energy? You probably were still feeling it. It didn't go very far into Gemini. I won't lie. It's kind of nice to have it back in Taurus, even though that's like, you know, natural disasters, earthquakes, and continued like economic changes and things like that. But I don't know. Maybe just because it's so familiar. I'm just happy it's kind of back for a little while. Anyway, Taurus. going on for Tauruses for this Mercury retrograde? By the way, because it is Scorpio season, your 7th house energy is probably lit up, especially if you're a Taurus rising. But any Taurus placements you have are opposing the Scorpionic transits we have with Mercury, the Sun, Lilith. It's a lot of Scorpio energy. What's going on for Taurus? I really feel the need to emphasize these oppositions because also Mars is opposing Uranus as well, even though it's gone back into Taurus. So you got a lot of opposition energy, astrologically speaking, right now. What's going on for Taurus? Messages or insights for Taurus. Some of you, this feels like a friend. Feels like a friend, an acquaintance, an ally. We'll just say an ally of sorts is probably on your mind. I think this is the consequence of Mercury going retrograde for you. Again, especially with all this opposition energy and Taurus being the counterpart to Scorpio, right? Yeah, you got someone on your mind, like heavy, exponential. It's like you weren't thinking about them, then all of a sudden you're thinking about them a lot. Could be vice versa as well. Could be someone thinking about you. I really feel like this is Mercury retrograde stuff. Queen of Cups coming out for a lot of people. Jupiter is in Cancer. This is going to be out for quite some time. But you are thinking about somebody. I mean, this is emotional. This is introspective. It's also intuitive. You could just be knowing or sensing that someone's got you on their mind or their heart. I'm actually hearing like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, like an exchanged awareness of each other. It feels like an ally. I just want to say ally because I don't think this is romantic for maybe half of you. I don't think it's romantic for everybody. But it's an awareness. It's a very strong awareness of someone, and I want to say they're aware of you too. Yeah, okay. So Taurus, Gemini had something similar, not exactly the same, but they, I think, also had this 5 of Cups energy as it relates to another person. This shared awareness is creating a 5 of Cups energy in the situation to be dealt with, to be handled, and I want to say closure. I want to say so closure can be had. And it's interesting because, like, I don't feel like there's animosity with this person. I don't even feel like there's, like, a ton of bad stuff with this person. Like, you could just be missing each other. I just feel like something has gone unacknowledged. That's what it is. That's what it is. Something's gone unacknowledged with you and this person. It doesn't feel super bad. It doesn't feel like, oh, I hate them. Like, it doesn't. Hold on a second. Ooh. Spilling water everywhere. Yeah, it just feels like a lack of acknowledgement. Something was never talked about. Something was never really fully addressed. Again, it doesn't have to be big. It could be the most minor thing. It could even be like, you know, maybe you haven't spoken to them in a while, and maybe that's just created a little bit of like, why haven't we been talking? You know, it could even just be that. Yeah, interesting. Can I get a third card here for Taurus? For Mercury retrograde? Can I get a third card here for Taurus? Yeah, I'm just feeling like there's a lot of missing energy going on here. Yeah, and worried about talking about it. Nine of Swords and the Knight of Swords. A lot of Gemini here, by the way. Yeah, you and Gemini got something going on. I would check that out, especially if you're a cuspy. But, you know, even just given that Uranus has gone from Gemini to Taurus, there's probably something in Gemini for you. Or if you're a Gemini and you're just watching this because you're more, you know, you look into sidereal, there's something between the two signs here for you. And I think it has to do with Uranus and things being brought up into your awareness and things being put on the table that have gone unacknowledged. So yeah, these are your cards here, Taurus. Feeling kind of sad, feeling kind of bummed, thinking about somebody, someone's thinking about you, something hasn't been fully acknowledged or said out loud, and it's time for that. There's a desire for that to be said out loud, but there's a lot of worry and fear about it. There's anxiety. I'm gonna say anxiety. There's anxiety around talking about it. Let's look at the anxiety. Play with the Knight of Swords and Nine of Swords. What's up, buddy? You have food. You got your food. You're okay. Tell me about Knight of Swords and Nine of Swords for Taurus. Oh, I thought that was the mood for a second. So I was like, oh shit. Okay, I'm glad it's the Ace of Pentacles actually. This conversation, again, I'm getting a few different things here. Mostly just like speaking on what hasn't been spoken on, probably offering a whole new like, okay, now that we've spoken on that, let's start over. Now that we've spoken on that, we can just like, you know, have a whole new experience moving forward, water under the bridge kind of a thing, or even just a reassurance that things are stable, right? If this is someone where like things have been a little funky or things have been kind of quiet when it's like there's no real reason for that to be, sometimes life just happens and you just kind of fall out with people, you know? But I don't know why there's so much anxiety about it though, of addressing it, but it could even just be like this reassurance of, oh, things are okay. Okay, cool, great. Some of you, it could be a second chance if there has been like a major fallout, but I don't feel that for a lot of you. And some of you, this is just the opportunity to speak. I'll get one more for that. One more on the Knight of Swords and the Nine of Swords. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize I got disconnected. Eight of Swords energy. Oh, Taurus, whoever's doing the initiating here, whether it's you or them, so much anxiety. So much anxiety, so much worry and concern, so much fear about talking about this. And I really want to say, like, the level of anxiety and fear doesn't match, like, the intensity of what's been unaddressed. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because I keep getting, like, what is, like, needing to be addressed is actually, like, relatively minor. It's just like, hey, we haven't talked about this. Or, hey, how come we haven't talked in a while? Right? Or it's just like, hey, that kind of made me sad. Or, hey, I'm kind of missing you. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's minor. This feels like so much anxiety and worry and fear that would match like a betrayal happened and you need to like talk to them about it, but you betrayed the shit out of them. You know what I mean? It's like, there's a mismatch here. So whoever's doing the initiating, they're really in their head. And I think they're actually blowing things out of proportion. They're letting their fear get the best of them. But I think this conversation is still going to happen. Some of the Five of Cups for Taurus. Okay. Wheel of Fortune. I love seeing that. It does kind of play into what's going on here too. Wheel of Fortune is change, right? An ebb or flow direction usually can also be a sense of fate as well. And I do feel like this is coming through because it is just the nature of Mercury retrograde on Taurus energy right now, given the astrology that we have. Like this window of awareness is opening and it's creating this feeling of like, oh my God, I'm thinking about them. I think they're thinking about me. Should we talk about this? Should we not talk about this? You know, it's just the window is open to do this, to feel this stuff. We'll look at the Queen of Cups and then we'll move on. I think this is a pretty clear reading. One more on the Queen of Cups for Taurus, for Mercury retrograde cycle. One more for the Queen of Cups. Oh, okay, that's kind of sweet. Queen of Cups and King of Cups. We have Cancer, Scorpio energy. Yeah, so whoever this is to you, Taurus, there is something very kindred here. Like you two are kind of cut from the same cloth. And I do think there is a very strong psychic connection here. Like you both are aware when you're on each other's minds, kind of a thing. What, buddy? What? Hold on a second. Gotta be a cat mom. All right, one more on the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups. Yeah, and the Eight of Pentacles. Are we going to put effort into this? Are we not going to put effort into this? Some of you, this could be someone that you had a work relationship with, or you met at work, or you have a same like shared field, or you did a lot of things together, like you created and cultivated things together. I'm getting that too, like you just work well together, like literal work, like putting effort into something in a shared plan of some sorts. But again, it's this feeling and this question of like, I know they're thinking about me, I'm thinking about them. do we want to put effort into this? Do we have this conversation about it? Like, you know, it's just like that. Again, I feel like it's very minor, but whoever is wanting to initiate, they're really worried and they're really in their head about it and they're making it bigger than it needs to be. All right, Virgo. All right, what's going on for Virgos? Virgo for the Mercury retrograde cycle. What's going on for my Virgos? Oh, let me make sure I'm not overcharging my phone. And I am. There we go. Buddy. Lobster. Virgo. Messages or insights for Virgo for the Mercury retrograde cycle. One more. Ooh. Virgo. Ooh, Virgo. We have the Fool and the Sun. As I was shuffling in your energy, a lot of distracting energy came through, and so that's something that you guys could have been dealing with preceding Mercury retrograde, because clearly you're feeling very clear. You're feeling very clear about some sort of like major new chapter, new experience in your life. I want to say chapter, actually. It's almost like you're being bathed in the sun after being in the moon energy, like coming out of a very like confusing period. I want to say distractions, like being filled with distractions, being bombarded by distractions, expectation. It just feels like a lot of projections and programmings of like, I need to do this, and I need like just straight up distractions from your own soul is really what it feels like. Hold on a second. Buddy? What's going on? Can you make it? He has really bad arthritis in his back, so everywhere really. So when he jumps, I just get a little worried because sometimes he doesn't make it anymore. Hi, buddy. What's going on? We're gonna come back, Virgo, I promise. Yeah, Virgo, I think this is kind of the energy you've been dealing with, like a lot of responsibilities, a lot of expectations, a lot of like things just needing your attention and just taking you away from having attention on yourself. Like that's what it feels like. Even if some of these distractions or obligations are things that you enjoy or people you love, even like fur babies, for example. Yeah, but I see you somehow being able to finally not have to deal with that as much. Finally having a little bit of space and time for yourself. And I want to say stepping into a chapter where you're in the light. That's just how it keeps wanting to be said. And you're not in like murky moon energy anymore. One more for Virgo. Oh. Oh. It's funny I said with the moon and the sun, just that polarity when it comes to relationship dynamics and feminine masculine energy, right? The Fool, the Sun, and the Two of Cups. Virgo, you're going to have to tell us what's going on because this looks beautiful. This looks gorgeous. This looks like, well, okay, again, a couple things. I do feel this like being able to honor yourself and embrace yourself like fully in a way that makes you feel really good and not distracted from that anymore, especially if some of those distractions were people related and leaving those people not necessarily behind, maybe for some of you, but just not giving them as much of your energy, you know? But some of you, this also obviously looks like stepping into a really beautiful, uplifting, energizing, invigorating connection. Doesn't have to be romantic. It could be a friend, a friendship, a business partnership, but it feels really good. Tell me about the Fool for Virgo, for Mercury retrograde. Tell me about the Fool for Virgo, for Mercury retrograde. Oh yeah, Virgo, look at you. Look at you. Seven of Pentacles and the Six of Wands. Okay. So Seven of Pentacles is evaluation, right? It's taking stock of things, it's making some plans, it's harvesting, it's weeding, it's reshuffling priorities where need be for you to be in your best position for yourself. That's what you're doing. You have definitely reshuffled your priorities so that you're actually more of a priority in your own life. I love it. And some of you, a connection is part of that. Some of you, it could be just someone inspired you to do this, helped you to do this. It is an example of this, inspires you to do this. I don't know if I said that already. Talking about the sun for Virgo. Talking about the sun for Virgo. For Mercury retrograde. Ooh, another 7. 7 of Wands. We have the 6 to the 7s. There's an Ace of Wands energy there, but we also have the 7 of Pentacles and 7 of Wands. So 7's gonna be significant. The 7 of Wands energy here with the sun. 7 of Wands is bravery, it's courage, it's fighting for what's yours. Even if you already have it and you're just protecting it. Why is the 7 of Wands here with the sun? This could be you putting in boundaries in place so that you can just honor yourself. Talking about 7 of Wands and the sun here for Virgo. Leo could be significant. You could also be a cusper. I also say that because we have a lot of Leo energy here. The sun is Leo. And the 6 and the 7 are also Leo. Jupiter, Leo, Mars, Leo energy. Tell me more about the sun and 7 of Wands for Virgo. Knight of Cups. I don't feel like you're blocking out a Knight of Cups. I think this is actually a source of your power right now. Even though Knight of Cups is actually your counterpart to the Knight of Pentacles. It's Pisces to Virgo. Which again, highlighting potential connection here for you as well. I don't feel like you're fighting someone off. I don't. I do think you're establishing healthy boundaries for sure. I felt that from the get. I swear cats are like having a TV. Like the cat television. I see you, buddy. Oh, I wasn't calling you over. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to confuse you. Anyway, sorry. See, distractions. Anyway, Virgo, coming back here. Yeah, I don't feel like you're blocking out the Knight of Cups. I feel like you're displaying a very healthy, like, way of boundaries. For yourself, standing up for yourself, but at the same time, there's something about this Knight of Cups energy. Thank you, Spirit. That's what it is. Because you're able to establish better boundaries for yourself and you're able to give more to yourself and focus on you, you actually have like more energetic reserves, and you're also able to have more of a full cup as you're moving forward and navigating your life and just moving about your life. But I do feel like with the Knight of Cups, that's always like a heart-driven action to me, or an intuitive, soulful action, driven action that you're able to engage in now because you have the reserves to do so, because you're not just like having to be pulled on all the time by distractions and other people. Beautiful. Okay. Talking about the 2 of Cups here for Virgo. Talking about the 2 of Cups here for Virgo. Death. Straight up Scorpio. Okay, I'll tell you more about death with the 2 of Cups. See where this death is taking the 2 of Cups energy. Is that, yep, that's exactly what I thought. Beautiful. Beautiful. 2 of Cups, death, and the 4 of Wands. Some of you, there could be a major shift in a connection that you are involved with. Doesn't have to be romantic, like I said, but for some of you it could be. But what it's doing is it's birthing the 4 of Wands. It's creating more stability for you, more celebrations, more safety and joy in your inner circle even. Some of you, this could absolutely be just about your relationship to self. And I think I mentioned that in the beginning, I don't recall. But I do keep feeling a prominent connection for you, Virgo, that is directly tied into the shift that you're having in giving to yourself, taking some of your energy, time, and power back even. And in doing so, yeah, it's creating the 4 of Wands in your life. And for those of you where this connection does have romantic tones or undertones, it feels like there's something that is being rectified between the 2 of you, strengthened between the 2 of you. And that's beautiful. Because you get to be taken care of more. And that's been a huge key to it. I feel like that's also collective. I feel like I've been seeing that theme come up a little bit in my client sessions recently. Capricorn. Going on for the sea goats. Actually, Capricorn, let me take a minute. My crown is like all this channeling. Definitely going for a walk after this. All right. Just giving myself a minute, guys. I'm already getting an interesting visual for you. The bat is out of the cave. They literally showed me a bat all like, you know, like wrapped up and hanging upside down, and then just like creating havoc and like outside of the cave and freaking people out. It's like such an interesting little message. Bats could be very symbolic for you, Capricorn. I feel like owls have been too. That's been very collective. But like both of those medicines to me are about seeing in the dark. About seeing in the dark. Maybe you feel like you've been traversing a very like confusing period, a dark period, or being in the void, and you haven't been able to see too far out in front of your nose. Is how that wants to be. Oh, that's interesting. Too far out in front of your nose. Oh, Capricorn, there's a big message coming in here. All right, I just gotta close my eyes for this. Actually, I close this off too. Ouch. I'm amazed how fast this is healing. Anyway. So Capricorn, we're talking about Mercury retrograde. We're talking about the wolf a lot, the internal wolf. I feel like your wolf is actually something you're not that focused on with this Mercury retrograde. It actually feels like maybe you've already preemptively done a lot of this kind of work with your inner wolf, your inner animal. And I feel like so much so that you have such a strong relationship with it, you're used to relying on the nose of your wolf, your instincts. The bat and the owl coming up here, it feels like it's actually more about like leaning into your intuition. I think you also have that intellect in play, but your intuition. To see in the dark, it's like you've been, yeah, thank you. So Capricorn, however long this has been going on for you, and probably for the entire time Saturn's been in Pisces, I feel like that has an implication in your chart. You would know, like, I mean, like a Saturn return, or like, I don't know, a transit affecting like a big planet like Jupiter, North Node, stuff like that. Anyway, let's come back. I don't want to lose this channeling for you. You've gotten so good at connecting with your wolf. That's like your modus operandi for a lot of you, and it's like that's not working. That hasn't been working, or it's like there's something about it that has turned funky or has shifted. And so since you haven't been able to rely on that as much, just following pure instinct, you've really been encouraged to follow your intuition, to see through the dark, to see beyond the front of your nose. Because like the nose, when I did that, I saw like a wolf's nose. It's like you want to be more in this like owl bat energy to use, I want to say to use your mind's eye. And again, I think you have a strong intellect intact, but like that intuition is that last part for a lot of you. Yeah, that intuition is like the last part of it for you. You could have been going through a lot with your third eye as well, anything in the upper chakras. But the owl and the bat, there's also something too with this dynamic. Owls, we also had the owl snake message come out before too, but with the owl, that is just pure feminine wisdom of seeing like the light in the dark, being that night eagle energy. But the bat feels a little different. It feels like these are two medicines that you've been working with knowingly or unknowingly, and the owl feels calm. So it feels like you've been honoring the owl. Yeah, it feels like you've honored the owl already, and it's just hanging out. It's like part of you. But the bat, transition. Thank you. The bat is coming with a little bit more of a masculine energy. So you've honed in this like feminine intuitive wisdom. You have that. You know you have that. But this bat energy, it's been cooped up in the cave too long. And I want to say it's actually been trying to encourage you to make some sort of transition. Thank you. To see you through some sort of transition. And that, I'm like, yeah, the bat's out of the cave. It's like, God, how do I want to say this? It can't stay in the cave anymore. I want to say it's almost dragging you out of the cave. Thank you. You've been in hermit mode. So you guys have been in hermit mode with this energy because you haven't been able to rely on your normal modus operandi, your normal compass. So you've been trying to find new ways of navigating. The owl has been helping you. You've been solidifying that. That feels good. But the bat, it's like you've been resisting the bat for some reason. Some of you guys, this is relating to snake energy as well. But you've been resisting the bat, and the bat's just been trying to help you through, and it's almost like it's having its way with you, or it's about to have its way with you. I feel like it's dragging you out of the cave. While you've been in this hermit mode, it's served you, but it's time to get out of hermit mode. I think deep down you know that too, and you just don't really want to. It's like you're very comfortable there, and I want to say the bat is dragging you out. Yeah, because the bat has been encouraging you to not just see the light in the dark, like see your way through, see your way out, but it's been encouraging to take action, to do so. While the owl is more about receiving information and observing. You, Queen of Swords. Yeah, thank you. You've been very solidified in the Queen of Swords energy with this wolf. Athena could also be a theme for you. The moon could be a theme for you. The bat is trying to get you to be in the King of Swords. You actually do something with this. You actually do something with what it is you see and what you know now. And you've been fighting it, and I don't think you can fight it anymore. Wow. All right, Cappies. Whoo. Capricorn. Let's get some actual cards now. Oh, Capricorn. Actually, Vesta's going into your sign pretty soon. Do I have that written down somewhere? I think I do. Hold on a second. On the 15th. Yeah, so just a few days before Mercury goes back into Scorpio, Vesta's going to be moving into Capricorn. And Cappies, obviously you're going to feel this. Vesta's a beautiful energy, even though it's not like a hardcore planet. I feel like she's pretty influential. Vesta's blueprint energy. Blueprint, sacred flame energy. What makes you feel alive? What makes you feel fulfilled? I think this is why the bat is like not allowing you to stay where you've been. Or to stay in the state you've been in. I keep getting Hermit. All right, Capricorn. I just want to get some cards out for you. Capricorn. Any messages or insights for Capricorn for this Mercury retrograde cycle? Oh, yeah. Oh, Cappies. Buckle up. Just buckle up, Buttercup. Judgment. Pluto and fire energy. This is a call. This is a rising. This is an alert. And I really feel like it's driven by the bat. Yeah, you cannot stay as you are. You can't stay in this hermit mode. You can't stay where you are. You can't maintain the shit you've been trying to maintain because it's time to cross a threshold. It's time to go through a transition or complete a transition of sorts. And this transition doesn't have to be your entire life. This transition could be like in work or in health or whatever, or in your relationships. But it's a very clear, like, come on, Cappies, let's go. It's very, very clear there. Okay, hold on a second. Just my chair. All right. Capricorn. I was just curious where the cat went. He went in his little playpen. And yes, he does have a little playpen. It's his safety safe. Anyway, I don't need to talk about that. Capricorns. For this Mercury retrograde cycle. Okay. I like that. Page of Pentacles and the Page of Cups. We're going to start small, apparently, Cappies. You're being dragged out of the cave, but you're being dragged out with at least some baby steps, is what this looks like. Page of Pentacles can be allyship, friendship. It can be learning some new skills, some modalities, taking a course again, getting a plan in order, looking at finances even. Page of Pentacles is more creative and whimsical and tender and compassionate and sweet. Very inner childlike energy. You know, Cappies, yeah, I feel like part of this being dragged out of the cave is just getting started on the baby steps of bringing your desires to life. But I keep getting the word whimsy and whimsical. But these desires for you, there's something about them that's very like pure-hearted. Maybe even some like childlike dreams and hopes and wishes, if you will. Long-standing hopes and wishes, things that you've always really wanted to experience or try. But I feel like it's about building that up. like actually creating something. I don't think it's just an experience to receive. I think it's actually something you want to bring into your life or bring into this world. But it's coming from a very, very pure place, and it is a baby step, and you're easing yourself into it. Some of you, it's just like starting to, yeah, get some order in it. Like, okay, what would be step one? What would be step two? What would be step three? If it goes like this, if it goes like that, you know, it's like trying really hard to find a way to ease yourself into it, to not overwhelm yourself. I can feel it. You're wanting to take your time, but you may feel rushed even by spirit, and that could create a little anxiety. But once you get out of the cave, I just see you doing little step by little step by little step here. Okay, let's look at Judgment. Tell me about Judgment. Yep, there you are. Queen of Swords, owl energy. Taking in all this information. Excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah. Taking in all this information, observing it, digesting it, discerning it. Very strong in the owl medicine right there. You've been there. We've known you've been there, right? What else is coming through with Judgment and the Queen of Swords? We're just skipping over the King of Swords, apparently. We're going right to Big Daddy. We're going right to Emperor, masculine, straight up masculine art, like pure masculine energy of action. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's get to going. Okay, we're just confirming what I already said to you. Let's look at the Page of Pentacles. Let's see the practical baby steps you're doing here. Tell me more about the Page of Pentacles. Look at you, Four Swords. You really don't want to come out of this mode, man. I feel it. You're like, no, I want more time here. I want more time here. I want more time here. Actually, this is interesting. I'm getting a little Virgo energy. Cappies, you could be, I don't think this needs to be perfect. There's something a little bit about perfecting something or perfectionism. Oh, thank you. To avoid rejection and failure. That feels like a pattern. You know who you are if that applies to you. One more on the Four of Swords and the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, strong in the Virgo energy. I'm getting that whole like chunk of the zodiac, like Leo, Virgo, Libra. That part of your chart could be interesting. Leo, Virgo, Libra. Anyway, Page of Pentacles, Four of Swords. For Capricorn, it's like I don't like, oh yeah, no, we're not in Virgo, we're in Capricorn. I know the Page of Pentacles and the Four of Swords for Capricorn. Two of Wands. Yeah, this is you just trying to figure out the first practical baby step. But I can feel it. You're trying so hard to keep your feet in that Four of Swords, Hermit. Like, I need to be in my bubble with this. I need to like marinate on all this, you know, this way, that way, you know, whatever information. Again, I don't think you're going to be allowed to stay in the cave for very long. And I think if you try to, I think something's going to force you out of it. Tell me about the Page of Cups. Now we're going to look at that energy. Yeah. So if the Page of Pentacles is the practical seed, the practical baby step here, the Page of Cups is the, like, the origination of the want, the origination of the desire, the origination of all of what's driving you here. At your core. Tell me about the Page of Cups. What speaks to your soul? Ooh, yeah. This is getting so interesting, Cappies, because like this, all the channelings that I got for you, the relationship with your inner wolf is not working as a tool to get out of this cave or this murkiness or this unknown energy. So then you've been learning to rely on or integrate this owl, intuitive, intellectual energy. Thank you. Aligning your intuition with your intellect, discernment, your head and your heart, you could even say. And you're trying to get the practical step underway, but it's making you want to stay in the cave. But what's giving you the most momentum is your heart. What's giving you the most momentum is like just the core of your like soul, of your essence, of the purest form of you, the purest form of your own desire, the purest form of your want. That's actually what's giving you the most motivation. I like this. What's coming after the Knight of Cups? with the Page of Cups. Yeah, get out of your head with this, Cappies. Like, I don't find that Cappies get in their heads too much. But I do feel like some of you have gotten very comfortable in the sword energy here. Yeah, and the sword energy here. And it's like, no, just like come back. You've learned to intertwine your intuition and your intellect. So just operate from the center. Just operate from your soul. Just operate from your heart. Don't get in your head about it. Just follow what feels right. Ooh, thank you. Now we're coming full circle. It's like you're actually reintroducing the wolf energy, which is instinct, primal. Yeah. So that's so fascinating. So just to paraphrase here, I know you guys have a long reading. This wolf energy has been your modus operandi, and that hasn't been working. So then you kind of like went into the owl energy. Some of you went into your intellect. The bat has been part of that too, but you've been kind of struggling with that. And now the bat is trying to get you to take some action here. But the action you're trying to take is still kind of rooted in that like upper chakra energy. And like, it's almost like you're reintroducing the wolf again. So now that you have this really nice balance between your head and your heart, this balance between intellect and intuition, now you can come back to instinct and align the three to take action from this full embodied space. Ooh, Cappies. Nice. So don't think, just let your whole system work together. Tell me about the Page of Cups and the Knight of Cups for Cappies. Yeah, oh my God, Cappies. Oh, it was a beautiful reading with the Lovers. Moving in a way that's in true alignment. Like literally your intellect and your intuition and your instinct all working as one. Some of you, this could be about a relationship that you're feeling guided to embrace and approach. One more for Page of Cups, Knight of Cups, and Lovers. But it's about the alignment first and foremost. Interesting. Ten of Wands. Why is the Ten of Wands here? Feels like that's going away. Feels like that's being put down. But why is the Ten of Wands here? Yeah, it's being put down. Ace of Swords. It's being put down because you have reached this beautiful alignment of your senses, really, to take action from a much more pure, embodied sense of self. And you've gone full circle with it. And once you re-embrace that wolf energy and you have all three working together, you're going to come out of the cave effortlessly, but the bat is trying to drag you out. Like the bat is like, we cannot stay here anymore. But as you're being dragged out and you are being forced to kind of like come back full circle and have like this alignment of the three senses, these three senses, you're also being very clear on that the hard part is over, burdens are over, especially self-imposed burdens that maybe came from being too in the upper chakras or too up in the mind and not in the body enough. That's something that you want. It doesn't have to be hard. That's something that you want to go for. It doesn't have to be difficult. Wow. Okay, water signs. Let's get to the water babies over here. Whew. How long was your reading? Oh, mine is like 20 minutes. Cancer. Actually, I'm gonna take a minute. Okay. Cancer. Cancer. Let's go ahead and get into your energy here, into your reading for Mercury retrograde. I expect all the water signs to have some big collective messages just because of the nature of the grand water trine that's going to be in place for the entirety of Mercury retrograde, including the post shadow between Jupiter and Saturn, and Lilith, but Mercury will be part of that as well. Cancer. What's going on for Cancer at this time for Mercury retrograde? What's going on for Cancer for Mercury retrograde? I'm getting a grace about you. Intentional movement, but grace as well. Cancer. Any messages or insights for Cancer for Mercury retrograde? Three of Wands. Okay, not a bad card. Three of Wands comes out as a card of optimism, looking forward, looking ahead, expectation as well, knowing that something is, you've put energy into something and something's about to come your way. That's that kind of energy. It can also be an energy of distance as well. If you feel like you're kind of far away from what you're expecting or anticipating to happen, that can also be part of that as well. Okay. I'm hearing patient. Like, I feel like you're very aware, Cancer. Yeah, you're very aware, and you know that, like, things are happening in the way they need to. That's how this is coming through. You know things are happening in the way they need to. Like, you're aware of divine timing even. Time could be a thing for you right now. There's a theme of time in all its forms, is what I'm hearing. In all its forms. I don't want to get into that. I don't want to touch that. It's going to take me way out of, like, way into this crown energy. But anyway, you know things are happening the way they need to, and you're just observing that, and you're patient with that, and you're just aware of it, and it just is what it is. But it's like, it's bringing you a sense of confidence, having this knowing. A lot of you know what's for you, and you have no doubts about it. That Jupiter Cancer, it's a yummy energy. Anything else for Cancers from Mercury retrograde? Wow. The World and the Five of Wands, and then we have the Two of Cups. This has been coming up for a lot of people. Yeah, so Cancer, I love this because I feel like I'm looking at the epitome of Jupiter Cancer at work, but also the square to Chiron that we've had, that we're going to have for the rest of the year, essentially, along with all of what Mercury is doing with, like, Lilith and relationships and sacred bonds and all that stuff. Any crunchiness with that Five of Wands, any sort of, like, projection of competition, or something's not right, or people are agitated, or people are triggered, whatever. It's like all of that shit, it's not even affecting you because you know what's for you. So even in, like, if you have a current connection right now, especially a romantic one, but even like friends or what have you, if there's any weirdness, like just any sort of weirdness that comes from power dynamics, competition, restless spirit, people like not navigating their own inner animals very well, you're just not worried about it. You're just not, because at the end of the day, you know who your people are, and you understand that people go through their own shit, but you also know that, like, this too shall pass kind of a thing, and it's almost necessary. Like, you're almost necessary, like, you're almost aware that it's like a necessary wave for some people in your life to go through. And even if this comes up for you, I feel like you're navigating it really well because you're just maintaining the sense of knowing. And the World card here also implies that. The World card is speaks to cycles, right? Speaks to cycles, Saturn energy, fixed energy, karmic energy. You just know, excuse me, you just know that any doubts, any competition, any weirdness, it's temporary. Thank you. And even when the dust settles, you're still going to be able to see and know who your people are. You're still going to have this, like, knowing that, like, good things are still right around the corner, especially with certain people in your life. Some of you could have a friend or a family member or a partner who's going through some shit right now, but you know it's just a phase. Like, it just keeps coming up this way. You're like, yeah, there's still my person. There's still my person, it's fine. Or if you're going through something right now where you feel like you're kind of experiencing a distance with someone that you care a lot about, you're like, it's just temporary, it's fine. There's still someone I love and care about, and it's fine. I love this on you. Tell me about the Three of Wands for Cancer. Oh, very interesting. Three of Wands and the Seven of Wands. You're protecting your peace. You're protecting your peace. You're protecting your knowing. You're not relinquishing it. And I don't think you should either. Yeah, like no one's gonna, it's almost like I want to say, no one's gonna kick you off this rock. Like the rock being this, like, metaphorically, symbolically speaking, analogous, right? This spot in your own life or your own center, your own foundation from which you're observing everything. And you're feeling confident, you're feeling strong, you're feeling so in your knowing of what's for you and the good shit. Nothing's going to take you off that rock. And even if you wobble a little bit with the Five of Wands energy, you know how to get yourself back to your center. I love this. This is just, again, Jupiter, Cancer, exalted energy. And again, if people try to come at you, especially people that are like strangers, you're just not having it. You're just not having it. Also with the Seven of Wands and the Three of Wands, there's a Four of Wands energy here, which is a card of stability and inner circle and celebrations. Could even be a portal card for some people, a relationship, but it's just this solid knowing of like what is yours and what is stable and what is for you. And again, you're not losing your focus on that. One more on the Three of Wands and the Seven of Wands. Ooh. Yep. What's mine is mine. It's for me. You're not going to convince me otherwise. You're not kicking me off my rock. You could try. It ain't going to work. It's not going to work. Because I know it's mine. I know what's for me. I know where my stability is. I know my center. I know myself. And it's mine. It just is what it is. And everything's going to be fine. And you just know that. You're maintaining a very optimistic standpoint here. Let's look at the world with the Five of Wands for Cancer. Two of Pentacles. I feel like people around you are really struggling and you're just like center. You're like, I'm chill, I'm fine. Everything's going to be okay. You may even be that voice of reason that's offering reassurance to other people if they want to receive that. Not everybody will. Some people may be coming for you. Like some people may try, no, I'm gonna say that the other way. Some people may try to come for you. Some people may try to lash out at you. And again, you're just so not having it. They're like, it's moot. It's a moot point for them to be doing that. I just see you maintaining your balance here. Anything else for the world and the Five of Wands? And again, even if something arises within you that makes you topple a little bit, you're just so good at coming back to yourself and to center and to truth, to your rock. You're just anchoring yourself to this rock. And it's exactly the perfect vantage point for you. So don't relinquish that. Anything else for the world and the Five of Wands? Eight of Wands. A lot of fire here. A lot of fire. People may go back and forth in how they want to communicate with you, like unsure of how to approach you because you're in such a strong stance right now. But again, if they're wavering, if they're feeling insecure, that's on them. And if they're people that you care about, I mean, you're Cancer, you're going to be very like warm and receptive and comforting and reassuring in any conversation that they want to have with you, right? So again, your people, the people that are for you, there's a lot of comfort there. There's a lot of reassurance there that they are experiencing from you. But it's like you are able to do that because you're on this very grounded sense of center of self. And you can't be taken off of it. You're in a very empowered stance right now. And people who are not your people, the way they come at you, you're not going to put up with it. And they're just going to go away. Don't be surprised if people just kind of seem flung out of your life right now. Tell me about this Two of Cups energy for Cancer. Tell me about this Two of Cups energy for Cancer. And those people, the people who ain't your people, if they try to lash out at you or come for you in this, while you're in this position, it's almost like, wait, hold on. Is that really true, Spirit? Oh, let me check in. Okay, there's a small group of you where it's almost like this vantage point, this position you're standing in, you're almost like a karmic agent a little bit, unintentionally. It's just a result of this sense of empowerment that you're in, and it's not egotistical, it's not entitled. You just know who you are, and you're just not putting up with nonsense. So if someone comes at you wrong and it's very clearly like, oh, they're clearly not like, they don't know how to have a healthy relationship with you, versus people in your life who may be a little insecure right now and they just need a little reassurance, you're more than willing to do that for the people that are your people. But the people who show themselves to not be your people, I don't want to say this. They may accuse you and try to gaslight you as to your stance here. They may say you're entitled. They may say you're selfish. They may even call you narcissistic. That's interesting. That's really specific. And again, they may just be flung out of your life. Tell me about the Two of Cups for Cancer. Strength. That's beautiful. Again, you're in this position here. We talked about the Strength card a lot in this video already, as it pertains to the message I put out a couple days ago. Whenever you're watching this, it's just the one where the thumbnail is just the Strength card. You being in this power position with yourself is really helping to align and deepen the connections that are really aligned with you and like right to have in your life. Talking about Two of Cups and Strength. Oh, yeah. Lovers, alignment. What is this? Ooh, whoa. Knight of Swords, Death and the Moon. That feels like a giant reveal to me. That feels like a giant reveal. And kind of what I was getting at before, the real ones and the not real ones are going to be majorly revealed to you in how they approach you. And since you're in such a strong sense of alignment with yourself, like, again, you can't be moved out of this position. You can't be moved out of this position. And the way that you're standing in this is allowing for these things to be revealed to you about who's your people and who's not your people. Okay. Wow. What a powerful read. All right. Scorpio. Scorpio, let me get a little sip of coffee before we start your reading. I just know this one's gonna be a lot. I already know. It's Mercury retrograding in your sign, in your season, with Lilith and Scorpio too. And there's Grand Water trine around all your shit too. Let's just take a minute. Let's take a minute. Before we dive into the intensity that is Scorpio. Which, happy birthday, Scorpios. Fellow Scorpios. On random tangent, my Venus return was yesterday. So I actually did my Venus return chart, which I've never done one before. I'm very curious to observe how this plays out throughout my Venus return annual experience. I don't know. I'll report back. Scorpio. What's going on for Scorpio? I don't know why I'm so nervous to your reading. What's going on for Scorpio? For Mercury retrograding through Sag and Scorpio. Scorpio. So Scorpio, I feel like what I'm touching on is just one aspect of what may arise for some of you. I was getting strong warrior energy, and I actually haven't gotten that for anybody yet. And you're like the second to last sign we're doing today. But very strong warrior energy. And it feels like some of you, this is an aspect of self that's getting stronger because of your own internal, I don't want to say battle, but kind of. Like, I feel like some of you may have been going at war with yourself a little bit here, but what it's been allowing is for this natural warrior aspect of self to arise. Some of you to re-embrace is what I'm hearing as well. To re-embrace and come and allow to sit back at the table. This intense part of you. God, you and Cappies, man. I feel like the channeling is just like flowing through me for you. Some of you, this aspect of self, whether you want to label it as warrior or just passionate or just intense. I'm getting all three of those. Some of you have like really put this piece of you away. Yeah, I just gotta call a spade because you recognize that people found it to be too much. hate that phrase. I do. I've really come to disdain that phrase. Too much. You're too much. It's like maybe you're not enough. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. Just when people say that shit to people, like, oh, you're just a little too much right now. It's like, no, I'm just a little too much for you because you just can't handle shit. You know what I mean? It's like, that's really what's going on in situations like that. I digress. That's not the point. Anyway, this warrior side, this passionate side, some of you, it's your sexual side. Some of you, it's just the intensity that comes with Scorpio. That you are like really re-embracing it, bathing in it, allowing it to rise up within you again, or just in a deeper, stronger, more potent way, and being shameless about it. I feel like that's what's happening for you guys around this time, which I think is amazing and beautiful, although I am a Scorpio, I'm kind of biased. So whether you are really putting your Martian energy out there, that warrior energy, or you're really putting forward that more plutonic, sexual, death, sex, rebirth, magic part of you out there, or just the sheer intensity that just comes with you out there, not hiding it anymore. It feels liberating. But yeah, I mean, people are going to respond to you in certain ways, there's no doubt, but that's something I'm really feeling with you Scorpios. Any messages or insights for Scorpio for this Mercury retrograde? Am I taking these? Yes. Oh, shit. Yeah, we don't know how to not do intense over here, right? In a Scorpio read. 6 of Pentacles. The Devil. The Ten of Swords. Wow. 6 of Pentacles, the Devil, and the Ten of Swords. A few things that I'm getting here, Scorpio. Clearly with the Ten of Swords here, there is an actual ending to something. Some of you, this is just ending to the way you see something, the way you believe in something, the way you think about something, with the Devil and the 6 of Pentacles here. And the Devil and the 6 of Pentacles to me feels like the way we engage or interact with people from either a primal space, like all this stuff I'm talking about, the warrior, the passionate sexual side of you, or the just really intense side of you. Thank you. Or how we engage in a way where that part of us is suppressed. I'm getting both of those. And some of you, this is recognizing that like maybe you have engaged in certain relationships, consumption is coming through, lifestyle choices or behaviors that are not good for your soul because they either suppress you and it's like you're doing it in a way that like is socially acceptable, or makes other people comfortable, I'll say it that way. Makes other people comfortable, but it's actually hurting your own soul because you're suppressing yourself. So it's like some of you guys, I'm getting that. But some of you, I'm also getting like with this re-embracing of this warrior or this passionate sexual side or this intense side of you, doing that, you're actually gonna be able to cultivate a relationship with that side of you that is stronger and deeper and doesn't have undertones of distortion. Because sometimes when we like ignore parts of ourselves like that, they do slip out in ways that are actually not good. Because we're like suppressing it, but we want to engage with it because it's who we are. And so we try, but it comes out distorted, or it comes out weird, or it comes out stifled. That's also what I'm getting with the Devil, right? So it's like suppressing it, or ways it comes out, or you're engaging with it that's distorted and unhealthy. You're putting an end to that so you can do it in a healthy way. And some of you, that's going to be even more than what you normally do. So I'm trying to think of another example. Like, let's say with like the passionate sexual side, it's like maybe you have restricted the amount of indulgence or pleasure that you engage in, but that's only created addictions, right? Or vices, like little like unhealthy outlets to experience it versus fully experiencing what you want to experience. You see what I'm saying? You guys get it? Wow. All right. 6 of Pentacles. Talking about the 6 of Pentacles here for Scorpio. High Priestess. That's interesting. What has been hidden about your exchanges? Yeah, thank you, Spirit. What has been hidden in the way you exchange energy with people, or in these ways of consumption, or within certain lifestyle choices? What's been hiding there? What have you not been being honest about? What have you not been expressing authentically. Talking about the High Priestess with the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, what's been hiding? Hermit. What do you really want, Scorpio? What do you really want? What do you really want to feel, to experience? What action do you really want to take that you've just been being very polite about? Is that wild animal trying to come out? Yeah, that you've just been very polite about or ashamed about. Let's look at the Devil. Tell me about the Devil for Scorpio. Eight of Wands. Your inner desires being very loud. Being like, we want to be expressed and experienced in this way. Please let us do that. Can we please do that? Can we please do that? Can we please do that? Can we find a way to do that healthy? Can we find a way to do that in a healthy way? That's what I'm getting from that. Tell me about the Eight of Wands and the Devil. Oh, Scorpio, Five of Swords. Oh, excuse me. You don't have to be ashamed of this part of you. And I understand too, with like the Scorpio factor, it's like these desires, these passions, the Martian warrior part of you, just the intense part of you, may be more than the average bear, right? They're very these things are very scorpionic in nature in and of themselves, but it's still you. It's still you. And I just keep getting, it's like you're fighting some shame, you're fighting some repression. It's like that's mostly what I'm getting here. Even like want to grit my teeth a little bit. But you're not too much. You're not too much, and what you want is not too much. And the people who see that are your people, right? So it's also just going to help align you to environments and people and situations that are actually just more authentic to you and this side of you. And some of you I'm getting too, it's like it's going to help you to get over some bad habits and some vices that have been your outlets because you've been suppressing these aspects of self, or you've been ashamed of these aspects of self. Let's look at the Ten of Swords. Let's look at the Ten of Swords. Some of you also just need to say some things out loud. That's coming through as well. I want to say to yourself in private first and just see how it feels. Like admitting, yeah, it's about admitting what you want. Admitting what you want to do, admitting what you want to say, admitting what you want to feel, what you want to experience. Like just say it out loud to yourself and just let that land. Just let your body just like feel that truth and acknowledgement spoken out loud and just see what that does for you. I feel like that's going to help a lot of you in a way that you do not anticipate. Well, let's look at the Ten of Swords. Some of you, this could even be about people you desire. I am getting a lot of that sexual energy here. Tell me about the Ten of Swords. Oh, Scorpio. Ten of Cups. It feels like going from the Ten of Swords to the Ten of Cups. Tell me more about the Ten of Swords or the Ten of Cups here for Scorpio. Yeah, look at you. Death. Showing up here. So Scorpio, something else that may happen for some of you during this time. Again, the post shadow runs until mid-December. So essentially like right before we hit that winter solstice energy is redefining the vision of your life that makes you truly happy and accepting that. The things that you want to do, want to say, want to feel, want to experience, how you just want to be as a person just may not be refined or polite enough for some company. I don't know the way to say it to you. Like, this does feel like the death of a way of operating in this part of you and the way you see this part of you, even yourself, and allowing yourself to embody that in a way where you can actually start like reconfiguring and reconstructing your life that actually makes you happy and nourishes these parts of you. Some of you, this may actually culminate into a different like romantic sexual lifestyle, Some of you, this may culminate into a very different way of like living domestically. Some of you, this may even shift like the way you are with your own body. There's a lot of body stuff coming up too, especially that Martian energy. Like some of you guys may change like how you work out or how you like enjoy physical activity, like the different outlets for it. Like some of you may go from like going to the gym versus like dancing or something like that, you know, something that's more sensual for some of you. These are just examples, but you're getting a very clear picture on what makes you happy and what makes you feel supported and fulfilled by allowing yourself to just go there with yourself and going like, okay, yeah, this is who I am. This is who I am and this is what's for me. So this is what makes me truly happy, and I'm just going to embrace that part, even if it's not socially acceptable. And obviously not putting yourself in harm's way or anything, but that's what I'm getting for you, Scorpio. All right. Pisces. Pisces, last but not least. What's going on for Pisces for this Mercury retrograde cycle? What's going on for Pisces for this Mercury retrograde cycle? What's going on for Pisces for this Mercury retrograde cycle? Let's do one more. For Pisces, for the sweet, sensitive, and adorable Pisceans. I don't know, I felt the need to say that. Maybe you needed reminding. I don't know, that was interesting. For Pisces, messages or insights for Pisces for Mercury retrograde. Virgo's coming through heavy, and so is Christmas. Literally themes of Christmas, which makes sense. It's interesting that hasn't come up for anybody but you. Okay, maybe you're getting a jump start on Christmas. Maybe you're just like getting into the festivity vibe. Maybe you're just trying to enjoy right now and just have that be okay. Yeah, that's feeling really, oh, interesting. I feel like you're fighting Virgo energy a little bit. You could have a Virgo in your life that maybe you're having some crunchiness with. I feel like you just want to enjoy. You're like, I just want to chill. I just want to have some fun. I want to be cozy with my cup of, you know, I don't know, seasonal drink. Want to decorate maybe and take a nap. Like you're just, I feel like you're just like wanting to be in enjoyment and pleasure. And I keep feeling this like poking energy, and I keep feeling Virgo with that, which is the South node right now, and Pisces is the North node, but almost in a way that feels like nagging and like and stealing your peace a little bit. This doesn't have to be a Virgo, but it's just that kind of energy is behind it of like, hey, this has to be done. We need to do this and we need to do that. Like we need to create some order here. Yeah, there's this feeling of like, we need it. We need some order. We need some order. We need some direction. Interesting. We need some direction. And you're like, I just want to be. Well, moderation is everything, isn't it? I know, not your favorite word. Believe me, I understand. My Venus Libra totally gets it. Temperance. You're being asked to embrace both. And I don't think you want to. But I'm also wondering too, this like intense call to just like pleasure and joy and just being in the moment day to day to day to day with no order, with no direction. Maybe you do need a little vacation. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But this nudge of that Virgo-y energy is just saying like, we do need balance. And we do need both. And I just think you're really just not wanting to right now. Make your own decisions. It's your own life, but that's what I'm feeling with you. Anything else for Pisces for Mercury retrograde? Ooh, Ace of Pentacles. That is order. Ace of Pentacles comes with order and direction. It really does, because it is stability. It's stability. Sometimes it's second chances. Of all the aces, it's my ace of going to an elevated experience or an elevated timeline, because we're leaving the garden, going over up into the mountainside, right? It could also be gifts as well. I'm trying to sit in this if you need to work for this to come up, or if it's just coming to you with temperance. Because sometimes temperance can be, for me as a reader, temperance can be divinely guided events, or like the hand of spirit, essentially, trying to orchestrate some things. Let's get another card here for Pisces. I feel like Pisces, if you embrace that Virgo energy a little bit and you find your footing in it, I feel like you're creating this Ace of Pentacles. And it's not like, and maybe that's what's coming up for you. It's like when this like pesty, pokey energy comes up of like, could even be an inner dialogue of, hey, we need to do this and we need to do that. And, you know, order and direction. We need to contain this energy to do something with it. Instead of just bathing in nothingness. Just like, it's very Virgo versus Pisces. But embracing both doesn't have to be aggressive. And I think that maybe something that's coming up for you, like harsh. If there's harshness behind it, if there's harshness behind this inner voice or behind this person that's pressuring you, I think you're going to dig your heels in and be like, no. But if you remind yourself that it doesn't have to be harsh, it doesn't have to be aggressive, you can find your own way of order. You can find your own way of establishing direction. Some of you, it's about routine. You may struggle with routine. That's going to create the Ace of Pentacles for you. Anything else here for Pisces? For Mercury retrograde? Queen of Wands. Interesting. Yeah, so this overall message here, Pisces, if you do embrace this order, this balance, this moderation, if you will, you are going to create some more stability for yourself. Some of you may actually end up saving money, or actually be like given something that offers you more material security to where you actually can enjoy more. The Queen of Wands is a queen of passion and confidence and magic, but she's also enjoyment. She also likes to play. She does. She likes to feel good, you know? You can actually have more enjoyment if you have more order and balance in your life. You just got to find your way of operating in that. You got to find your way of operating in order and in flow and direction. It is working with like masculine energy, but that doesn't have to be harsh. It doesn't have to like harsh your buzz. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to harsh the pleasure or an enjoyment, but it actually may give you a lot more resources, which is like money, time, or energy to actually go deeper into your own pleasure. Okay. Very interesting. Some of you, this could also be surrounding a divinely guided offer to you, because I see you receiving. You're receiving here. I was trying to get into temperance, and yeah, the Ace of Wands came out. Temperance and the Ace of Wands. Again, I'm still getting more of that like moderation of your own energy here, of masculine, feminine as well. But I also am getting that like something is coming your way. For some of you, it's coming from a person who's feeling guided to approach you at this time. One more for temperance and the Ace of Wands. Wow. Wow, Pisces. Oh my goodness. Temperance, Ace of Wands, and the Sun. So again, balance and moderation is just going to help you actually take your pleasure to a whole new level here. And also you're going to have a lot more ease with operating in order and in direction without it feeling like you're forcing yourself or feeling like you're fighting yourself to do it. But I do keep seeing that like for some of you Pisces, it's also your time to receive something really big. It's time for you to receive something that is going to make you really happy and going to just put you on cloud 9 is really what I'm seeing here. And I keep feeling like it's coming from a person. Tell me about the Ace of Pentacles for Pisces. For Mercury retrograde. Yep, there's the happiness. There's the happy, happy, joy, joy. Ace of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups. This is feeling like you are being given a gift that's going to like be like a wish fulfillment or just make you incredibly happy. And some of you, it's coming because you have established this balance and order with yourself, or you're learning to during this period. But some of you, you're just being gifted something you've always wanted, and it's just your time to receive it. But I'm telling you, if you establish this balance of pleasure and order, it's going to come in sooner. Tell me about the Queen of Wands. Almost like you kind of need to have that to enjoy whatever this is fully. Tell me about the Queen of Wands here for Pisces. Tell me about the Queen of Wands for Pisces, for Mercury retrograde. Eight of Wands. I'm telling you, it's coming out for everybody. It's a lot of fire. Eight of Wands, communication, movement, travel, growth. It's even a card of dating, but I'm just getting enjoyment off of you. I just keep getting that over and over and over. You may also feel like this new balance that you're establishing for yourself, again, is just gifting you a lot more than you anticipated. It's more bandwidth, it's more leeway of pleasure and desire and acting those things out. But if you are receiving something from someone outside of you, it does feel like some sort of a gift or like some sort of a like an offer that is something you've actually been wanting, and it's just taking you to cloud nine. I just keep getting that over and over. So I have a Queen of Wands and the Eight of Wands for Pisces. Aye. Ooh. Oh, that's interesting. We have the Devil with the Six of Cups being here. So a couple things, Pisces. The Devil with the Six of Cups can be patterns, unhealthy patterns. Scorpio had something a little similar to this. And like I said, order and balance, right? Order and balance with that Virgo Pisces axis is key to getting out of the unhealthy imbalance of just kind of being in this like constant, like, I just want to feel good. I just want to have pleasure. I just want things to be fun and easy, versus establishing order and direction for yourself at times, or doing the things that you don't necessarily want to do, but finding a way to do it that feels good for you, right? So I do see that this new way of doing things is getting rid of some bad patterns and unhealthy addictions, even for some of you, or just vices. And in that, it's giving you a lot more vitality. It's also giving you a lot more leeway and bandwidth and resources to enjoy life the way you want to in a healthy way. So again, similar to Scorpio here. But for those of you where you're getting some sort of offer from someone that's a wish fulfillment, I am getting something about that Devil being a little bit of a, not fixation, but maybe for some of you. But Six of Cups and Devil can also just be this like deep primal desire. This very much like, ooh, I really wanted that from the core of my soul. Six of Cups is butterflies and nostalgia and like, ooh, that feels really good and exciting and giddy. And then Devil has that like lusty, pleasure-filled connotation to it, right? Again, it's what you wanted. Yeah, I'm gonna get one more on the Nine of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, you know it's coming too. High Priestess, that was very quick. So as you establish this new order for yourself, this new order of self, right? This starts to emerge for you, either because you're gaining so much bandwidth and ability to do this for yourself, or establishing this order and balance for yourself. It's almost like a green light for someone to come in and give you something and offer a gift, what have you. And again, it's something you've wanted. It's something that's going to make you happy, but it's also telling me it's something that's almost been hidden in plain sight. Like it's just been like almost like they've been waiting for the green light to see that you can handle this, or see that you're ready for this, or that it's actually in alignment, is also what I'm gathering. Yeah, that's interesting. Interesting. All right, guys, that concludes the video and the reads for Mercury retrograde. I hope that you've enjoyed them. I hope that they have brought you some support. And yeah, I just wish you all the best and good luck with everything. And I'll see you guys later, okay? Bye. Take care.